Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Full-Length Cup Challenge Friday Night Lights series here for the Heartland 300. Tell you what, we're going to have ourselves a lovely time here around Kansas Speedway. My name's Kirk Mills alongside Ron Muns, and of course we have our producer Howie Burrows in the booth for tonight's action. We have a full field, Ron. We had 47 cars come out to try and attempt to race in this race, and only 43 are going to be able to take the green flag to start things off. We got one hell of a race coming up.
Yeah, it is going to be a fun one for sure. A stacked field of drivers, a already pretty intense qualifying session, and a race that is certainly going to prove to be competitive. Kansas Motor Speedway, it's one that has an odd history throughout its time in the NASCAR world. Nowadays, it's known for hosting some of the best races year in and year out, especially with the Cup cars. But you think about the early history of this place, it had a bit of a dangerous reputation. Lots of drivers had some pretty bad wrecks here, including Eric Almirola, who had a pretty significant crash with Joey Logano and Danica Patrick right that year where he actually injured his back. But this place is still one where you can see some pretty good racing sprinkled in with the chaos that you expect with a super speedway instead of an intermediate.
Yeah, absolutely right. Take a look last week, though. John Delaney got it done after Adam Benefiel got on the brakes, got out of the way, and let him go to the win after Bristol Motor Speedway on iRacing has a weird thing where when the caution comes out, the pit road opens really dang fast. So Delaney didn't get a chance to come down pit road. So he had to stay out on really, really old tires as everyone else second on back had a chance to pit. So because he stayed out, he lost the lead. But Adam Benefiel did the most respectful thing ever in the Gladiator 300. Coming out of the final corner, he lifted, let Delaney go, and Delaney ended up getting the win, which is something he deserved after leading most of that race. You can take a look at your pylon here for your season standings. We are having a lot of guys come out here and try to win for the third time today. We got Lucas Hoitzma and Hicksonball trying to go for the third win on the year. But a lot of guys in that top 12 that haven't won yet this year, I'm sure a lot of them want to be able to get it done here tonight.
Yeah, certainly sensing an opportunity as we head off into the spring and summer months here this season. You can see how the points lay out. Everybody just trying to make some ground up as we get towards the end here. But already the drivers are having to consider, okay, what's it going to work in terms of the points? How's everything going to go? And this is a fantastic opportunity for some who have maybe not been able to get out of first gear quite yet here this season.
Well, let's go ahead and find out where they're all going to be starting here tonight. Starting on the pole, take a look. Jacob Simpson gets it done, running a pretty dang fast lap alongside Matt White, making his first start of the season here, P2. Starting in third place tonight, Charles Velasquez Jr. in that Coca-Cola machine, alongside Bryce Reiner in the 5 car for Team Conti Sim Performance. Starting in fifth tonight, Lucas Hoitzma in that M&M Bushwhacker car. Into the outside, Jesse Winslow in the 59, rolling off 6th. 7th place tonight will be Joseph McWhorter. He's fast, last year's champion, alongside Bryson Hicksonball, who came out just short of the championship last year. Starting in 9th tonight will be driver the number 31. First top 10 start for him, Jarek Gradzicki, getting a great qualifying run alongside Alex Coffey in the 54 for Precision Speed Solutions.
Yeah, and then looking outside of your top 10 here tonight, starting this race in 11th place is going to be the machine of Casey Graves in the 01. He'll be next to Hunter Truel, starting alongside in 12th. Row number 7 will consist of Wesley Napier. He'll be next to Jeremy B. Brown at the start of this race. Meanwhile, right behind them on row number 8, we'll see your 15th place starter of Daniel Weil start alongside Ryan Von Henschel, still looking to get into the swing of things here this season. John Connor will start this race in P17, a name that I haven't recognized so far this season, next to Brandon Hastings, a driver that we've gotten to cover throughout this campaign already. And then rounding out your top 20 here tonight will be Mason Lowry next to the quick Aussie of Andrew Dyson.
Starting in 21st tonight, Tanner Marty alongside Kyle Ammon in the 17, 22nd. 23rd tonight, Adam Benefield's got a long way to go to get to the front, but I think he can do it, alongside Aiden Amano there in the 32. Drew Prohl in the 08 will roll off 25th alongside Steve Benjamin, who will start 26th. And in 27th, Bill Hole alongside Jared Wishon in the 26 car. Starting in 29th tonight, Cliff Mullins in the 44 alongside Daniel Llewellyn in the 30th spot. And that rounds out your top 30 starters.
And then looking outside of your top 30, completing your field, it's Eric Wineland in 31st, Dustin Hall in 32nd. Noah Woods will start this race in 33rd, next to Matthew Boston Wheeler in 34th place. 35th will be Tim Phillips. 36th will be Blake Kluwat. P37 here tonight will be Kevin Zosiak, next to your 38th place starter of Cody Bird. Rounding out the top 40 will be Dave Hoytsma, next to Charles Ian. Just 3 more drivers left to cover here. It's Seth Foudy and Tyler W. Hunter in 41st and 42nd. And Michael Mesnard, the final qualifier here tonight, will start this race in 43rd place. We do also have to consider, Kirk, the Dash for Cash drivers as we head off into tonight's action. Joseph McWhorter, Adam Benefiel, Noah Woods, and Drew Prohl. Woods and Prohl certainly the outliers, for lack of a better term, in that they're going to be the underdogs as we head into this race against 2 drivers that I think things have maybe settled down after it got a little bit hot a couple of weeks ago, but I still think it's fair to say that there's really no love lost between that duo.
Yeah, probably no love lost at all. I think it's going to be a fun week, though, this week. We got 200 laps around Kansas today. Got to go 45 to get the end of stage 1. You got to get a lap 90 to get the end of stage 2. You only get 5 tire sets, which is plenty for this track. And your incident limit, guess what? You're capped at 13. You can't wreck that much. You got 43 cars on the same track. And I think it's going to be a race of survival. It really is. You got to keep the car underneath you. We're going to come around to get 1 to go before we get the restart. All the cars are doubled up on this racetrack. Take a look at this track, if you will. Let's see if we can't get a wide view. We got a lot of cars out here on track right now. If there's a static option or something like that, there we go. Look at that. You don't get a chance to have that many cars out on a racetrack that often. There's just so many people here want to come out here and try to race in a Friday Night Lights series. What this is, if you've never seen the Friday Night Lights series, it is a full-length replica of the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, and we just copy their schedule and we run it exactly the same way. There's no lane choice outside of the leader, though. That's really the only big difference. Everything else is purely as close as you can get to the real thing, which is why people want to come out here and race so dang much. Up front, Jacob Simpson getting his first pole of the year. Fantastic for that 22 team. Alongside Bryce Reiner. He has not really had necessarily the best starting positions, but the reason why he's there is because the driver who was qualified P2, Matt White, did not grid. He's starting from the pits. So that means he's got to go from the back to the front, and 5 gains a free spot. Now coming through turns 3 and 4. Coming to get the green flag to start this thing off. Reach down, pull them belts tight one more time. From Kansas, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of turn number 4. That iRacing pace car is going to dive down into the pit lane. And Jacob Simpson from the pole is going to go through that restart zone. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Take a look at all those cars down the back straightaway. There are so many all over the racetrack right now heading into turn 3.
Yeah, a gaggle of race cars as they thunder their way around this racetrack to complete that first lap. Jacob Simpson, already a race winner here this campaign, looking to try and get the job done here. Kansas, he leads that first lap, but a whole smorgasbord of cars right behind him.
Yeah, he took a different line through the trial, though that's going to be something to keep in mind. Will you take the shortcut or stay up there on the racetrack? That 18 car of Charles Velasquez moves up into 2nd, and Bryce Reiner drops back to 4th after starting in provisional P2. And it looks like the front group has really gotten single-filed out, going back quite a ways, all the way back until you see the 87 and the 17 battling each other. Just a couple of cars there. John Connor making his first start of the year in the 87 alongside the 17 and Kyle Amon.
Yeah, I think drivers assigned to take it easy for now, let this race fall into their lap, but still keeping an eye on these drivers, keeping each other within arm's reach. Your top 2 breaking away a teeny tiny bit away from Lucas Hoytsman in that number 97 machine. Simpson and Velasquez Jr. holding on to your top 2 spots and not too far away from each other, only 0.2 of a second the margin.
Oh man, they're 3 wide back there in the back of the field, trying to go everywhere, trying to gain spots. Got to be really careful on this racetrack, especially early on. But so far, man, it has been entertaining. I like seeing how, like, the back of the field's kind of chaotic trying to get to the front, And the front of the field's really calmed down.
You know, front of the field, somewhat tame.
Sorry to interrupt you. It looks like there was a problem behind in the back of the field, the 75. Actually, they're wrecking Steve Benjamin's around. It's a big crash. The 35 of Mesnard, 77 of Foudy, 75 of Eaton involved as well. Huge crash in turns 3 and 4. That will bring out the caution here on lap 5.
And you can see engine smoking there for the 77. This was a sledgehammer shot into the outside wall. Let's take a look at this from the aerial view. As they had their way through there, it already started coming out of turn number 2. Drivers already scampering as here was the extra bit of drama. There he goes, 75 there was on there. And you can see, golly, huge hit there for the 75 who was on the apron heading down into turn number 3 and 4. That there's only one way that was going to end there, Kirk, and it was quite disastrous.
So coming out of turn number 2, you're going to see the 53 come up. He is not clear. He closes the door on the 10 car and he puts himself in the wall. That 10 car is Matthew Boston Wheeler. He's clear of this. But the 75 went down to avoid it, and he did not lift enough to avoid contact with the 53. And there goes Llewellyn, Seth Foudy. You got I think that's the 15 there of Cody Bird involved as well. And these guys were all just trying to avoid it. See, he followed the 48, but he did not get back up on the racetrack in time. He didn't slow down enough either. After that contact, he got sent right back up into the outside wall, and that car is toast.
Yeah, pretty much a direct hit into that outside safer barrier. Maybe a little bit cuddly, a little bit more cuddly than concrete barriers, but that's still going to hurt regardless. It puts us under yellow for the first time, and for those drivers involved in that is a rude awakening. We talked about the pitfalls that these drivers can fall in at Kansas. This is a tough racetrack at the core of it. I would go out on a limb and say it's probably one of the toughest intermediates in the NASCAR world at this point in time. But you see a moment like that, and for those racers, not just behind, the ones that got caught up in that incident, but everybody seeing that go on, it's like enjoying a nice meal and all of a sudden someone walking up to you and just tasing you.
Yeah, I will let you know there was about 8 cars that I saw involved in that incident. One of the cars, Ryan Von Henschel, got into the back of the 77 of Seth Foudy and pretty much sent him into the wreck. It was not a fun thing to watch, but I'd like to ride on board if we can with the 79 and look at that wreck one more time, because the 79 of Dave Hoytsma has a hell of a view, and he barely misses the wreck just by inches, and it was right in front of his face. And it was one of those things that just was a great piece of driving. Let's see if we can't get a view of the 79 making it through that accident there. 79. There we go.
I'm expecting some matrix maneuvers here. Yeah, there you go. That's just seeing it's pretty much Moses parting the Red Seas up in front of you, and probably seeing that go down. I know if it were me, I would have a brown sea in my pants.
Yeah, something like that, I'm sure. But I can tell you right now, Ryan Von Henschel, look at what happened to him. He gets into the back of the 77 after the wreck starts. He didn't see the wreck happening until it was too late, and that's what sent the 77 into the crash. But live right now, we got the cars doubled up on the back straightaway heading into turn 3 to get this restart back underway. Again, Jacob Simpson up at the front, led every lap so far today. Charles Velasquez Jr. sitting P2, Lucas Hoytsma P3, Bryce Reiner in P4, and Joseph McWhorter will restart P5. We're going out of turn number 4 right there. You can see, and that pace car dives down to the pit lane right there. And we're about to get this thing back underway. Remember, we want to stay green. We got a long way to go. 200 laps. Let's see what happens. Through the restart zone, we are back underway.
And I'm not sure if you saw this, Kirk, but I did see a little bit of stacking up there on that bottom lane. Our drivers already struggling a bit just to get these cars rolling on these restarts. It certainly looked like that on the bottom lane. Not the biggest stack up in the world, but did see that 73 of McWhorter, who did win the Dash for Cash last week at Bristol. Just didn't look like he was getting going at all.
Well, yeah, they're trying to save tire, trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. One car that I didn't see saving much tire, and that's Alex Coffey in the 54. He's making a move on Jesse Winslow for the inside right there. He's also trying to catch up to the back bumper there of McWhorter. Both of these cars are, he's trying to get by him, but I think he's kind of stuck right now. Can't really get off the bottom. Bryce Reiner up there on the top with Jesse Winslow. They're starting to get real racy up in the top group there, but the top 3 have really scooted away. as it looks like McWhorter looks to try and chase him back down as he just got cleared of Reiner, and so did Alex Coffey out of turn number 4, back to single file for most of the top group.
Yeah, drivers fanning out though, trying to find any way in the book to get a good run, pulling out of the slipstream and trying to get some clean air on that nose as well. I think that dirty air, it's always a dirty word in racing circles, but it's got to be something we have to talk about throughout the night. Drivers just trying to find it and get the moves done. Dirty air in Kansas. I got bad 2020 flashbacks there.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to think about that time in life. Too much Bo Burnham in my life at that time, I'll tell you that. Actually, never enough. Never enough. Yeah, you got the reference. Yeah, Inside. Yeah, great thing. Go watch it if you haven't already after the race. It's a good thing. Anyway, I can tell you right now, looking at this field, I'm seeing Brandon Hastings right now trying to make topside work on Jeremy B. Brown, just behind the leaders here. You can see them barely back here. You can see that this is the battle for the 10th place spot. Hunter Truel there. Jesse Winslow in the 59 is going the wrong direction.
Yeah, so these drivers are going side by side, close to the front pack of the field, but not 100% there yet. There was a driver that was down on the apron, hanging down the back straightaway, just caught in the corner of my eye one lap ago. Could just see a blob of pixels there at the bottom end of the racetrack. Not sure if we'd even be able to identify that car, but either way, drivers still struggling with this racetrack. I think the exits of the turns, as it usually is with intermediates, going to be tough. Kansas, no exception, as you can see that got put on full display. Truel with a bit of a wiggle, as that was Jesse Winslow that he made a bit of contact with.
Yeah, I was telling you that little section of cars right there, they're racing harder than those around them. That 63, though, leading the way out of that little group there. Oh, contact. Jeremy B. Brown hits Jesse Winslow again down the back straightaway. Obviously, I don't think that stuff's intentional necessarily right there. It's just, side drafting gone wrong, or, the way that these cars, when you're in that position, sometimes brings your right front quarter panel into the left rear side of the car you're racing with. So it could happen. Oh my goodness. Just a lot of cars choosing different lines in that little tri-oval. You don't expect that too much, but it's happening a lot today. Oh, up in front of this, though, the 18 of Charles Velasquez Jr. is under fire from Alex Coffey on the top. Looks like he's going to get the job done.
I will say here, Kirk, I don't think these drivers are necessarily playing with fire quite yet, but you can tell they're starting to experiment with the lighter. They're getting close. They're getting side by side as Velasquez with a bit of a wiggle. That number 18 driver, one that stood out towards the end of the campaign last year here in the Friday Night Lights series. Now, though, with that number 18 machine, I think he's been a real force to be reckoned with. I am waiting for either him or his teammates in that stable to break through and get their first victories.
Just a matter of time. Austin Dillon's won 6 races in his career. It could happen to anybody. That's true. Now, if you haven't already watched that wonderful video that came out a little bit ago after the race, come on down and take a look at Imp Lemon's new video about NASCAR's most chaotic driver. It was a hell of a video. It's worth your time. Go ahead and give that a watch when you get the chance. But right now, I can see that 22. You're riding on board right now with Hicksonball looking out the front end. You'll see the leaders way out there. That's the 22 car, Jacob Simpson, leading over Hoytsma there, as you're on board trying to get by Brandon Hastings in the 81 right there. Hastings been going forward since the start of the green flag, and that 81 car started in 18th. He's up to 9th.
Already getting some moves done here, as seeing a move maybe attempted from Charles Velasquez Jr. and Alex Coffey. This is a fight for 4th right now. McWhorter looking to drive away as your top 2 really have driven away. Velasquez going to clear him, heading off into turn number 1 and 2. Velasquez now up into 4th in that 18 machine. Talked about a few moments ago, I'll mention it once again. That 18 driver of Velasquez, past winner in this series. I think he's been really quick so far in his starts this season. So I think he's going to be someone, that we're going to have to keep our eyes on.
Oh, speaking of keeping your eyes on, Velasquez making a move again on McWhorter to the inside. That's 18 car decided to turn on the jets. He was getting passed by these two just a handful of laps ago, and now it's changing. He just made the pass on the 73. Now we're looking at the teammate of the 73. That 71 car riding right in front of Jeremy B. Brown, who's under fire from Brandon Hastings. That 81 is on a mission, going from, again, starting at 18th all the way up now, battling for the 8th place spot. Not going to get it this time.
Still a little bit close as they head their way down into turn number 1 and 2, but keeping up with this as we will throughout this race, officially a 10th of the way through. If the race were to end right now, Joseph McWhorter would be a back-to-back Dash for Cash winner here at Kansas. We'll certainly be keeping tabs on that as time rolls along. McWhorter not only looking for a good pay night here in the Friday Night Lights series, but also looking to make some inroads in those championship points. These drivers already having to consider that, considering this is the 10th race of this campaign.
Oh, they're wrecking on the front straightaway at the back of the field. There's a car going around. It looks like it's a new driver. First time I've seen him on the racetrack today. 37 of Zodiac's involved. Also, the 70 of Matt White, actually, I think was involved in that as well. Going down the front straightaway, no caution, but it is very close to being one. Contact with Zodiac. Zodiac came back up the racetrack, made contact again, slides on the front straightaway, trying to save the race car. Zodiac up ahead of this, goes back up the racetrack. Look out, don't hit anything. And you can see Bill Hull in the middle, just like, please don't let me get hit. And they made it through just fine.
Yeah, just please, for the love of God, let me get away with something. So thankfully, worked out well for him. He's still out there on the racetrack, and we are remaining green, although these drivers are getting a little bit more skittish out there on the racetrack. We're seeing the close quarters moments get a bit more scary. We're seeing those sideways snaps get a little bit more common, and we're seeing the side-by-side fighting start to go on as drivers begin to fall off in the pace department as others start to peak at the right time. Joseph McWhorter just got a move put on him by Bryce Reiner, so that's now McWhorter holding on to 5th currently.
Yeah, if you look right here, though, Bryce Reiner's really leading a large pack of cars that are all kind of stacked up nose to tail. If we can get a wide angle, I don't know if there's a way we could do that, you'll see that there's a huge gap from the 5 car on back, and like it's just all on top of each other, this entire line. In front of the 5, there's like a large gap up to the Velasquez, and then an even larger gap up to Hoytsma, and then a smaller gap to the leader of Jacob Simpson. So I think that 5 car is going to be one of the first ones trying to save their stuff. Over the course of the run, it's going to be exciting to see if this little group is able to close back in on Hoytsma, Simpson, and Velasquez over the course of the long run.
Yeah, there's always that convergence point of drivers that maybe started off on a good note in a green flag run and then start to drop down, and other drivers that were just taking it easy to start off with, and then things started to deteriorate as these two throwing bare knuckle fists each other's way. Reiner drifting up the track as he headed his way into 1 and 2 as McWhorter was looking for it on the outside, stalls out on the momentum. One thing to bring up as well in this battle, Kirk, is if these drivers start to just throw haymakers at each other, it's going to allow your top 3 to drive away. Now, your top 2 already broken off. Jacob Simpson, Lucas Hoytsma, 1st and 2nd.
Sorry, Coffee got sent middle 3 wide. He lost a lot of spots. That 54 just went the wrong direction. He's still sending it in the middle 3 wide. Look out, 71 saves the car. Let's take a look and see what happened to that 54 just in that last lap there. He was sitting there trying to hang on to the position, but it looks like, he got clipped from the 71. And that is what ended up sending them the wrong direction. But live, he hit the 71 back live. He's up in the outside wall. Contact sends him going the wrong direction. That was a little bit of payback from the 54. Now they're 4 wide on the front straightaway, keeping it green. Keep it going. We got to keep an angle. We'll look back at that in a minute. But for right now, 71 must not be happy after that.
Oh, and that car is still driving really sour. Contact made heading down the backstretch. That's Wesley Napier in the number 95 that just sent the 71 off to hell. They keep it side by side. They're still running all around each other. This is pandemonium breaking out in this battle. I knew something was going to go down in that stack up. Fisticuffs were going to break out, and fisticuffs indeed did break out. But thankfully, we are still running under green flag conditions for now.
Yep, you can tell right there that's going to be something. Let's see if we can't go back and take a look and see what happened there. It's starting to calm down a little bit. It's not saying it will protect everything, but it's starting to look a little better. Let's see if we can go back and see what the 71, it was coming out of turn number 4 just about 3 laps ago. You could see him running right there with the 54. 54 tries to go to the middle. Not quite enough room. 54's got to reset. This is coming out of turn number 2. All right, so he's still going to head down a back straightaway. You see Casey Graves now with the 71. That's going to lose both of them some time, side drafting. 54 is going to get back to the back bumper here this time. Watch what happens. Closes in, contact, gets him loose up into the outside wall. 41 has nowhere to go. Huge checkups for the 63. 83 spins it up to the very top, makes it 4 wide, and gets right on through, man. That 71 car, man, just... He's not going to be happy about that.
He pretty much just got treated like a punching bag. It wasn't over yet. As you can see, the 88 on the outside. That was Wiles, and then just diving down there, trying to give that car on the outside of him a bit of a wide berth. Nearly results in him getting spun off into the infield. We remain green, though, 30 laps into this race, already getting into the final third of this first stage here, Kirk. And these drivers... you can't even say that the gloves are starting to come off. The gloves have been off for a little while now.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm glad that we don't wear gloves like what they do there. It'd be hard to hold the wheel with those giant gloves, you know, with the box and stuff, but doesn't matter. I know it's an analogy. Anyway, I got to get you something that to pay attention to. There's a driver in this top group that has surprised me the most right now, and you know who it is right now, Ron? You want to take a guess who it is? You want to take a guess? You're looking right at him. It's that 21 car. He started in 31st today. And now going for 9th on Brandon Hastings. What a charge through the field for that car. And he's going to have something for these top guys if he gets some clean air.
And Wineland, another driver who put in some very valiant efforts at the end of the 2025 season. Bit of a sideways snap as he headed his way out of 2. Holds on to it, remains in this battle, albeit loses out on 10th Adam Benefield. But Wineland is a steady, quick driver. And I think so far this season, he's got something to prove. It hasn't been the most amazing start to the campaign. He's even said at certain points in time that frustration has brewed some weeks compared to others. I remember an interview that we had with him during the Martinsville broadcast a couple of weeks ago where he seemed a little bit upset with some of the drivers that he was racing with who he felt may have done him dirty. But right now, Wineland holding on to some good spots and finding himself in the middle of a massive pack. And Brendan Hastings that he was side by side with, now with Bryson Ixenball on the inside and Daniel Wiles right to the back bumper of him.
Side by side for the lead. Now Hoytsma has caught to the back bumper of the 22. This is going to be for the stage win. We got another 10 laps to go in the stage when they cross the stripe next time by. The 97 wants that lead. 22 had it for the longest time, but now it's being under challenge. Here comes the 97. Oh, contact! He hits him in the door. That 22 car had to lift, avoid hitting the wall, and the 97's able to pull away as Jacob Simpson will have to settle for second so far. But new leader as they cross the stripe with 10 laps to go in the stage, it's Lucas Hoytsma.
And Hoytsma in that fitting Kyle Busch scheme, already a race winner here in this campaign, looking just to try and add in to his trophy collection. As close stuff there between the front end of Charles Velasquez Jr.'s number 18 machine and the back end of Justin McWhorter's 73 car. McWhorter still your leader of the Dash for Cash competitors. However, it's getting a little bit closer between himself and Adam Benefield, who's now breaking his way into the top 10, currently holding on to 8th right now. It is still going to be a titanic battle between those two as to who's going to walk away from this race with that $100 prize.
I'm starting to notice something here, Ron. I'm starting to see some of the cars that push their cars really, really hard early in the run are starting to fall off. Even Eric Wineland has dropped back to 15th since the last time we mentioned him going for 9th. So I think like something snapped in the last handful of laps where some cars are just struggling. That 73 might be one of them. The 18's trying to battle back. I mean, I'm not sure. We only got a handful of laps to go in this stage, and we just saw a change for the lead, and now everybody's closing in on each other. The top 3 were separated by 2 seconds at one point. Now 2 seconds encapsulates the entire top 5.
Yeah, so certainly the gaps are getting smaller, and as you said, some drivers just completely falling off, the face of the earth. It's hasn't even been falling off of a cliff. It's just been a total drop down into the magma core. It is quite odd to see that quickly of a fall off. Usually you expect to see, okay, yeah, there's a couple of signs, but that's just pretty much going 100%, and then in the matter of a couple of laps, it's like, okay, well, now I'm driving a 1910s oxen cart instead of a NASCAR O'Reilly's machine.
I don't think I've ever even seen one of them. Good Lord. Man, that 18 one just won't quit, will he? He keeps trying to get down to the inside of McWhorter. He gets close, and just ever so slightly, the 73 keeps clearing him back. So, I mean, this is a great battle between these two. I'm guessing they're having a blast. It's a lot of fun when you get to race somebody like that, where you can pass them and then they can get you back. It just depends on how they're running. But I have noticed up at the front of the field, we have a new contender coming into the top 3. Look at this 5 car up front. He has been on the move. He's back to the back bumper of Jacob Simpson. And he's closing in on Hoytsma and Simpson. I think he might be able to get by if he can carry the speed for just the next 5 laps.
Hey, keep it all rolling. That light is soon to hit at the end of that tunnel, so these drivers know exactly what they need to push to, and pushing towards it they are. Reiner, after a somewhat not slow start to this stage, he's looking at it off on a high note, side by side with Jacob Simpson as they head their way into 3 and 4. Will he be able to get that move done? I think Simpson may just have that dominant line, keeping the momentum on exit, but a big wall tap there may be the benefit for Reiner to jump in front.
Still side by side for the lead heading into turn 1 and 2 again. That 5 car chose to go to the bottom this time, and it looks like it's going to work out for him. 5 car, Bryce Reiner gets up to second place. Is there now side by side for 4th right now between Charles Velasquez and the 73, who just cleared him again as the 18 dives it back into the bottom again, trying to chase him back down. We'll see if the 5 car can catch the leader, but this is the first battle we see on track for position between McWhorter and Velasquez Jr. right now.
And if these drivers can't get this settled, it could get a little bit more fascinating, because you look at Casey Graves right in tow, and not too far behind Graves is Adam Benefiel. Now, with only a handful of laps left to go in this stage, I don't think it's going to divulge into a complete bare-knuckle fist fight, but could be a sign of things to come a little bit later on. Velasquez all over Joseph McWhorter like the plastic on Grandma's couch as they're close to making contact out of 4. The 73 having to chase his own tail up the track as the 18 still establishing dominance side by side as they head their way through the tri-oval off into turn number 1 and 2. I'm still going to say that 18 has been one of the more impressive drivers yet to grab a win so far this season.
Yes, no doubt about it. Right behind him, you'll see that 23. He's 31 laps down. He was involved in that first wreck during the very first part of the stage. So he has fresher tires. He might pass these two as they're still side by side for the position, as the leader crosses the line this time to get 2 laps to go in the stage. Lucas Hoytsma leading this thing, but we're looking at the battle right now for that 4th place spot. Trying to get a extra point for whenever we go to the chase at the end of the year. Oh, look out, 18 chases the car up the hill. Almost puts the 73 in the wall, but man, this is great racing. So much so that it's bringing Casey Graves in from 6th place. Maybe he might be able to say something about this. You can see him on your screen now. As we're coming to get the white flag in the stage, one more time around for Lucas Hoytsma to get the stage win, and it looks like that this is starting to get a little bit more settled out towards the back here, except Benefiel. Take a look at that. Adam Benefiel, remember, he started back in 23rd. He's now up to 7th. Make that 6th. As the leader is about to get a little bit of pressure from the 5, live up at the front of the field, the 5 car, does he send it in? I don't think he's got the room to do it. And coming out of turn number 4, caution is out. We have a wreck on the racetrack before we got to the checkers. It's the 10 car of Matthew Boston Wheeler around off turn number 2. Caution is out.
And here it is, Matthew Boston Wheeler heading his way down through 1 and 2, all by his lonesome with 70. There's the contact, and that'll push him around.
Yeah, that was the second accident that I've seen the 70 be involved in tonight. Who was that? That was Matt White. The first time we saw him get into the accident, he made contact with another driver. But let's take a look here. Right here is your top 10 finishers for the Heartland 300 after stage number 1. Take a look at that list if you'd like. Now, back to what we were talking about with that 70 car. We saw him make contact earlier in the run with, I believe it was Zodiac. And that was something that didn't bring out a caution, but there was some contact on the front straightaway in the shenanigans in turn 1 and 2. This time, the 70 car got into the back bumper of the 10 of Matthew Boston Wheeler and spun him out as the leaders will come down pit road. Here comes the 97, the 5, 22, 73, and the rest of the field on the pit road.
Yeah, I'm sure these drivers are going to be delighted to get the chance to run down pit lane, get some new Goodyears mounted on these cars. Could already see that fall off go down, but one driver that really spoke to me in that opening stage, Kirk, was that 5 of Bryce Reiner. If he can manage those tires well here in this second stage, he could very well be golden as well. But let's see who's going to exit out of the pits with the lead. Who's going to be able to take what? Will anybody risk it for the biscuit or Trisket if they're feeling the low-calorie option and take 2 tires? That's a 97 ahead of the 22.
Take a look there. You can see on your screen a lot of cars coming through, but take a look at your pylon for a quick moment. Who do you notice is at the top of the pylon? It's a car that's currently sitting out there on a racetrack right now. Tyler Hunter in the 48 car for EPI out there right now, running on the racetrack. He's still on the lead lap. Did he miss pit road entry, or is he staying out? We're going to find out here in a second when he crosses the entry to pit road. Let's see if he chooses to stay out or come down. It looks like he will come down, so not much will change up front. It will still be the same. Hoytsma, Reiner, Simpson, McWhorter, and Velasquez, your top 5. When we come back, we will be able to see this restart and get this thing back underway here shortly. You're watching Maconi Entertainment, live from Kansas. As you can see, we're doubled up for the restart here on the back straightaway at Kansas for the Friday Night Lights series here on Maconi Entertainment. Kirk Mills alongside Ron Mons up here in the booth. Howie Burrows in the production booth for us tonight. And gotta say, we're gonna go ahead and start our second stage, racing the lap number 90. Eventful first stage. We had 2 different leaders, the 22 of Jacob Simpson and the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma. Hoytsma passed him a little bit towards the end of that stage. He's going to have the lead this time. Let's see if Bryce Reiner, though, has anything for him. Great restart for the 97 on the inside. We're back underway to start stage 2. Oh, golly. Man, some cars in the back of the field. Noah Woods almost wrecked the car, but up front, you can see it's side by side for the 4th place spot. You see, they were side by side before we even had that stage in there. Still not over yet. 73's trying to top line. It looks like he's going for 3rd.
Yeah, no, that stage yellow may be long in the lifespan of a fruit fly, but for these drivers, they remember what was going down before that stage yellow came out. They're bringing the heat. They're bringing the thunder. They know that they want to try and get involved in these battles once again.
Contact again. The 2 car of Ryan Von Hinchel up into the outside wall. Sorry to interrupt you there. 4 wide move done by Matt White. Got the 2 car Ryan Von Hinchel up into the outside wall. And no caution, but that will separate the back of the field.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at this. There's a lot going on there. There's a pass for the leader, at least close to it. There's the 4 wide racing heading down in there.
Yep.
It's a
Let's
70
go back a little bit
now
further.
Once again.
Can we go back a little bit further to get a better look at that just this time? Here we go. So you're going to see that 70 car. He's going to go down to the bottom, on the very bottom of the apron, make it 4 wide move like that. That's totally fine, but he's got to make it stick. And that 87 got up into the outside of the 2, and that's what put him in the wall. Von Hinchel goes out to the back as a new up front lead. Jacob Simpson got the move done on Hoytsma as Simpson goes back to the point. Hoytsma sits P2 trying to defend his position over McWhorter.
Yeah, the four-wide racing that we saw there, one driver absolutely has to back out that you can theoretically go four-wide racing here at Kansas, but it's you are asking for trouble.
It was going to be difficult. Yeah, it's just I'd risk it another way. As you see McWhorter making a move here on Hoytsma, and it looks like he's going to get the job done just like that. 73 moves up to P2. Last year's champion moves up another spot, trying to catch up to the back bumper. Jacob Simpson there in the 22, trying to get the lead back. Same thing as Velasquez. Velasquez makes his way by the 97, who dropped back another spot. But as for that four-wide move, yeah, things like that, it's racing. Yeah, as long as there's a gap, you can go for it. Gap car, that's what they say in some of these races. It's going to tick some folks off, but hey, there's a gap, go for it. And there's no rule against it, but there will probably be some chaos when it happens.
And that right there is probably the reason why 50% of the oval commentating that I've done in my iRacing broadcasting career has been conducted under a yellow flag. Four-wide racing, though, heading down into turn number 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4, you can probably make it work a little bit better heading off into 3 and 4, but it's a difference between liquidating your assets and buying nothing but Mega Millions tickets to try and hit it big and make your money back versus buying nothing but Powerball tickets and trying to make it work. Odd comparison. People understand the lottery system here in the U.S. will maybe get that reference. But we're close still up at the front. Jacob Simpson, who I said already is a race winner this season, that coming a little bit earlier on in this campaign. I believe it was Atlanta when he got the W there. But right now looking to get the win here, but McWhorter all over the back of him, trying to pull out and get the move done into 3 and 4.
For the lead, you see McWhorter there on the bottom trying to get to be our third leader of the race so far, but that 22 carried a lot of momentum on the top. He's going to continue to lead that lap. That 73 is going to have to try again. He's going to have to reset it up and try again. Charles Velasquez Jr. also closes in on this battle, making it a 3-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, so Simpson able to withstand that pressure for now, but it is it's getting a little bit froggy throughout this field here, Kirk. After that first stage, I think everybody has found their comfort zone. They know what they can do around here, and you know they're going to push that envelope. They're racers. They're going to try and go for every single opportunity that is potentially going to fall their way. But one thing that could potentially help it out, I'm curious in the production truck, we can pull up the track conditions and the track temperatures specifically. I want to see how that has evolved, because that sun continuing to dip below that horizon. I think those track temperatures have evolved in a good way. 90 degrees Fahrenheit for the track temperature. There you can see it in Celsius for anyone interested in those measurements there. That's, I mean, there are some Europeans tuning into the broadcast who have just as much of a messed up sleep schedule as Howie does in the production truck. That was a call out. That was mean. I apologize. But I mean, look at that. You can see the evolution of those track temperatures. I think it's helping out these drivers just bring the heat in more way than one.
I just know that hot tires make the car go slick. That's how it works, at least my understanding of it. It's a lot more fun to drive on a slick track than anything else. See the 73, though? He's going to be under fire. Here comes Velasquez to the bottom. Going for P2. Charles Velasquez going to be able to try and make that pass work. And it looks like he's got the job done. As well as a side-by-side battle towards the back end of the top 10, I could see the 88 machine of Daniel Wiles just made a move on Jeremy B. Brown. Got the job done. Moves up yet another spot for Wiles, as the rest of the field still settles single file at the front of the field, heading all the way back. You see single file all the way until you reach around Brandon Hastings and the 32 of Aiden Amaro back in 17th and 18th.
Yeah, touching on this once more as we're now 60 laps into this 200-lap long race. Joseph McWhorter, still your leader of the Dash for Cash competitors. Adam Benefiel is slotted in 6th right now. Your other two Dash for Cash competitors in the form of Drew Kroll and Noah Woods are a little bit farther in the back of the pack. I said that they were outside shots, but we already saw that go down last time here in the series at Bristol, albeit that's a short track. This is an intermediate. Lots of different things that the drivers had to worry about there compared to here. but you can never rule anybody out when it comes to that dash for cash. It's only really 3 drivers that you have to have come down with a falling anvil.
Well, I can tell you right now, folks, you can take a look here at the 22 and the 18. Nose to tail, this is going to be for the lead. The 18 had a shot at it in turns 1 and 2, but got the nose cut off going on the entry. 22 cut shut the door. 18 had to let off and try to resettle this thing out. You can see up front, again, these top 2. You get a really wide angle here. You can see everybody on the racetrack. But these top 3 have really scooted out to a large lead over the rest of the field. There's nobody else even near them right now.
Yeah, so the gap has grown between some of these packs. It's like high school when you just see the cliques begin to form. You got the top 3 of Simpson, Velasquez Jr., and McWhorter, and then you look at this little group of Hoytsma, Benefiel, Bryce Reiner involved in it as well, along with Casey Graves, Bryson Ixenball, and then a whole lot more cars. Back to really Eric Wineland, and then a small little break between Wineland and Matt White, who, despite the fact that number 70 has had chaos revolving him at some point in this race, really ever since the drop of the green flag, he's still running in 12th, which is rather shocking. It's like getting struck by lightning and still arriving at your doctor's appointment on time.
Well, this lead, by the way, is starting to heat up again. The 18 cars got up to the back bumper of the 22 on the entry to turns 1 and 2. He's going to have a good run on the back straightaway. He's going to be right on that back bumper for the lead. He's maybe looking to the bottom. It looks like he's showing the nose. Dives it in deep. He's going to be there side by side for the lead. Turn 3 and 4. Lap 64. Trying to race the lap 90 for the stage. It looks like he's not clear yet. Still side by side. 22 with the momentum. Will it be... 18 led his first lap of the day that time by, making him our 3rd different leader on the day.
It was close stuff. That's Simpson
clear.
getting quite flirtatious with that wall, but Velasquez clears him, jumps into that race lead, and now go look to try and grab that torch and run away with it. But that 18, along with that 22, to be fair, I think they've been running on a real thin razor's edge between having, absolutely thrilling speed or having an absolutely spectacular accident. There's pretty much no in between. They've been kind of like ping-ponging back and forth between that, but they haven't fallen off the edge yet.
Saw that cloud cover come in now. We got a little bit of a darker track on the racetrack right now. You're looking right now at the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma, who won stage number 1, has dropped back to 6th since the start of the stage. Been going the wrong direction. Remember, he started on the front row of first place when the green flag came back out. And it looks like that is a issue there. So unfortunate to see.
Advancing up to the lead once more here, keeping an eye on this train of cars. Now maybe trying to settle down. I think ever since Velasquez Jr. got that moved on Jacob Simpson, he's trying to just take it slow. You've still got a long way left to go in this race. We've seen some brilliant action, but for the moment, it's been a smooth one. So these drivers are just saying, you know what? Let's keep it calm. Let's have a good time, folks.
There's just so much gap between 3rd place and on back. But now these top 3 are just under a blanket. They can't seem to get away from each other. It's like, it reminds me of the Cars movies. The top 3 just scooted away. Everybody else nowhere in the picture. You can barely see them back there. You got that 73 champion last year, 22 trying to make a name for himself still. And, of course, Charles Velasquez Jr., always fast, working with Team Conti, I believe, still. But, man, look out. No, he hit the wall that time, the 22 did.
Yeah, that's why, too. I don't think he's very happy about being in that dirty area. He's looking a little bit skittish now. I'm not even sure if it's just a matter of that car being too tight or too loose. It just looks like it goes back and forth between the two. So McWhorter maybe smelling blood in the water as this track continues to evolve. It gets darker out there, and those lights are going to shine bright here soon. McWhorter got to look to try and come alive like a werewolf in the night. Will he get this move done to jump his way up in a second here soon? Certainly closes up the margin as they head their way down the backstretch, off into 3 and 4. He does not go for it yet, but you can tell that McWhorter is starting to feel a bit more experimental in this battle. Now, he's not, doing a baking soda and vinegar volcano experiment quite yet. We're not erupting quite yet, but he's definitely writing down his hypothesis. He knows that, okay, I gotta get a move done here soon. Where can I get the move done?
Sun just came back out, by the way. Holy cow, man, getting bright. 73, like you said, just waiting for the right moment to go. He's all over the back bumper of the 22. He could make the move if he wants to, but it looks like he's just holding off. But take a look at who is coming up from behind, ladies and gentlemen. You take a look. You'll see right there. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Adam Benefield. He's up to 4th place, and he's chasing down the top 3.
Benefield right there. We've seen him on the charge throughout this race, and with that ominous warning, I think McWhorter decided, you know what, I'm not going to worry about just laying back and taking it easy for now. Let's just go for broke. So he's going for the move down the inside all through 3 and 4. Now look to try and clear him, but Simpson just carries enough momentum out of the turn to keep him worried, keep a little bit of overlap between those cars as they thunder their way into one. This side-by-side battling benefits 2 drivers. It benefits Charles Velasquez Jr., who, despite having those 2 continue to fight right behind him, hasn't really been able to use that as an opportunity to pull away, but one driver's been able to close up quite a lot. It's Benefield. He is there and there to fight.
Yeah, 83 is just on another level. I saw him coming from a mile away. It's like he hit the gas and decided he wanted to go. 83, I think he's going to get the lead right now. That's cool. I like seeing it. Last week, remember, he did some of the best karma I've ever seen. Got out of the way, let Delaney win that race when there was a glitch with the track, being very respectful. It most certainly was something that most folks will tend to like. But 18 gets into the wall. The leader did just a little bit as the 83 now closes in on McWhorter, and he's going to try to top lane.
And that top lane, I think, has worked more on the defense and has on the offense, at least just from what we've seen so far here. But swapping sides like he's flipping burgers. Benefield down on the apron, heading into turn number 1. And McWhorter going to let him by. Didn't really fight that too much. I wonder if he's going to allow Benefield to be the hole punch, say, okay, you can get the moves done and I'll follow you right behind. I think there may be a little bit of pseudo teamwork potentially going on between these two, which is saying something, because they were willing to, just basically kick each other down flights of stairs a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they had a little bit of beef last couple of weeks, but it looks like that time by, there was no ill will towards each other. They just let him go. And 73 even got way up out of the group to let this guy go, so that was very kind of him as well. Hopefully they get to race each other and, get on better terms. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. That's great. Now 83's got to catch up to one of the hardest cars to pass right now, Jacob Simpson. Doesn't matter what lap it's on, that 22 car just is able to maintain when he's on the top. He's able to hang on to position. So hard to pass him in the longer in the run, but the 83, I think he's got the speed to do it. Either him or his teammate in the 5, Reiner, he's catching up to this pack too. It might be a 5-car battle by the time this thing's done.
And you brought up a point talking about the driving style of Jacob Simpson, how once he gets in front of a driver, maybe a little bit hard for racers to get past him, as that's a bit of a wiggle there from 2 for Benefield. He holds on to it, holds on to 3rd, and still has that 22 right up in front of him. But Jacob Simpson already a winner this season. If he gets the job done here at Kansas, emphasis on if, we've still got a long way left to go. But if things work out well for him here in this race, he can maybe go for 2 in a row at Talladega next time out. I mean, hey, he did win at Atlanta earlier on this season, playing the Pied Piper of the field and defending like a madman.
Right now, he's going to defend pretty hard because here comes Benefield to the inside, side by side for spot number 2. 83 is probably going to make this a little bit of quick work. He's a little loose on the bottom of the racetrack, though. 22 trying to carry the momentum, not enough. 83, Adam Benefield goes to the 2nd place spot as the 22 hits the outside wall out of turn 4 and will lose 4th place.
Oh, now we can bring in another formidable force into this battle. Bryce Reiner and that 5 machine is right there as the 22 and the 73 chase each other's tails out of turn number 2. That I thought was going to end in a pileup, I'll be completely honest. But Bryce Reiner now sticking his nose into it, certainly smelling blood in the water with Jacob Simpson, who's just starting to fall off. This has been a desperate loss of pace for him. Once he got overtaken, it opened the floodgates, really. He's been sinking down like a lead balloon.
But guess what's about to happen up front, though? That 83 car's on the back bumper of the leader. He's going to be there, making a move to the bottom for the lead here on lap 80. Getting 10 laps to go to the end of the stage. 83 just clears him. Easy peasy. 18 car lets him go.
Yeah, easy peasy, beautiful breezy. Cover call. Benefiel jumps his way up into that top spot. Charles Velasquez Jr. now going to have a taste of familiar medicine. Dirty air right behind. Will he be able to weather the storm, though? He probably put a little bit of wear on his tires the last time he found himself in this spot. So right now it's just a matter of holding on for the final 10 laps of this stage. These drivers certainly focusing on that. Benefiel looking to claw up some points. He was your early championship points leader here in this series, but because of that race suspension that he had a few weeks ago, he's looking to bounce back. Still holds on to 3rd in the points heading off into this race, but you know he wants that regular season title.
The 83 pulls away from the top 5, the rest of the top 5, as the rest of the group seems to be closing in. This entire group was just a 3-car battle at one point, the 18, the 73, and the 22. But guess what? Those 3 cars are now separated by quite a bit, and more cars have joined the fray. You can see Lucas Hoitzma closing in on the top 5. He's already there. Trying to pass now Bryce Reiner, who's also moved up closer and closer towards the top 3. And that 83 just drove straight through everybody and got up to the lead. And dominating fashion, actually. I think that 83 car has a lot of speed in it. He did not qualify well, started in 23rd, but man, he has just charged through this field all the way up to the lead. Huge gains for Adam Benefiel today.
Yeah, massive, massive gains. You know that he is here to fight. Really, I mean, if you go by the spirit of just trying to get the wins whenever they could come about, Benefiel was your winner last time out, but playing the sportsman role, allowing that move from Jonathan Delaney on that last lap, just let him by. That was fantastic sportsmanship. That was something that we didn't know happened at the time. We just figured that it was some sort of fuel situation. We didn't really know exactly what the deal was, but Benefiel, I think that could maybe open up the floodgates with the yin of what happened in the other short track portion of the schedule is going to come the yang of what happened last time out of Bristol to round off the short track. Says, yeah, oh golly, coffee at a sideways step heading out of turn number 4. A few of those, and he's going to have the jolt of a lifetime.
Yeah, he's got that 70 car on the back bumper. I'd be a little scared after knowing what I've seen so far in this race. That 70 car's on your back bumper. Always good to be able to bring some action to it. But now he's under fire from Napier. Napier look to the bottom. 70 car dives it in deep on the 54, sends it in. And this is back here again. We're battling for the 14th place spot. The top group has really stayed single file out. This is the closest thing we got as Napier gets up in the wall. A little bit of contact. 70 car goes up to try and block that run. Not enough as Matt White tries to recover from starting from the pits. Oh my goodness. What on earth is he doing? He's doing it. Oh, what on earth? Dude, Matt, hang on. Relax, buddy. You're in 16th. Hang on to it, pal.
Golly, there's a lot going on there. I sound like a tornado siren. I think I blew out my vocal cords at 70, continuing on a streak of hitting everything about the hot dog cart as that nearly ended in tears. Getting contact there. Wesley Napier and Tyler W. Hunter thought that was going to end in tears and nearly did once again. The 70 getting into the back of the 95. Take it easy, Matt. Golly.
Hey, weapon. Look out, not Wesley. I don't like that, but we got something going on. Back here in the back of the field. And they're not gaining time doing this either, man. Oh, he turns up. He just turns up going into turn 3. Save of the year for the 95. Hang on to it. Oh, come on, pal. Hang on to it. There you go.
Hang on to it again.
But that big loser there out of turn number 4, yeah, he just dumped him. That was absolutely a problematic guy. Oh, boy. We watched the whole thing develop too, from the beginning to end. And so, I mean, it's all there. 95 saves it, but then you can see the car up there on the outside wall. Who is that? I want to make sure we give that guy a mention because he's an innocent bystander there. As we're coming to the end of the stage, we got about 2 laps to go. Benefield's got this lead by a lot. 26 car, it looks like. 26 car is driven by Jared Wishon. He's still out there on the racetrack. He's continuing, but not going to do good for him right now. You can see Jacob Simpson just get passed by the 63 of Hicksonball for 6th as the leader of the race. Adam Benefield comes out of turn number 4 to get the white flag in the stage. 1 more lap to go for stage number 2. Chaotic and crazy stage number 2. This whole race has been kind of wild. You can see right here, though, take a look at who's catching up to the leader. It's Charles Velasquez Jr. He's going to have a say in this battle. It ain't over yet. Charles Velasquez down the back straightaway, all over the back bumper of Adam Benefield. What will he do for the stage when he follows in his tire tracks? And it looks like that ain't going to be enough. Adam Benefield out of turn number 4 will come to the line, and yes, indeed, he's going to win stage number 2 in the Friday Night Lights Series here at Kansas.
Whew. What a thriller to get this one up and rolling after the first 90 laps. We've already seen a lot. We've seen some brilliant racing. We've seen some questionable maneuvers, shall we say, and Adam Benefield putting on a wonderful charge up to the front. I think he's going to be a real force to reckon with in the final 110 laps of this one.
Oh boy. You take a look at your screen. These are the top 10 finishers in stage number 2 today. Heartland 300. Adam Benefield got the job done. You can see the rest of your finishers on the screen. Now, we're going to go ahead and slow things down. We're going to take a little bit of break, and then we're going to be right back after this short break. You're watching Maconi Entertainment. The full Friday Night Lights series will be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's showing of the Friday Night Lights series here live from Kansas. We just finished stage number 2. We're about to get one more lap before we get back underway. And you can see, race off pit road, your pylon on the top left shows where everybody ended up after pit stops. Whew, man, this beginning of this race has been kind of wild. We're going to get a restart here with 106 laps to go. Long runs have been entertaining and fun, and now we're going to be able to see how well the cars do on the super long run now that we get a 107 lap run. Hopefully we'll be able to get them all on the green, but you never know. Cars are willing to do whatever it takes to try and win these races. I will let you know, folks, out of the entire 43 cars that started this race, there are 7 cars that are out of the race, including Steve Benjamin, Cody Bird, Daniel Llewellyn, Ryan Von Hinchel, Charles Eaton, Seth Foudy, and Michael Mesnard. And by out, I mean more than 10 laps down. Some might still be out there, but they are out of the chances of winning. Those are all the cars that are behind more than 10 laps down. Here we go through turns 3 and 4. You got McWhorter on the top. You got Benefiel on the bottom. First time we see an Adam Benefiel in the lead position for a restart here at Kansas. Chose the bottom lane. Here we go through that restart zone. We are back underway. Side by side for second, Charles Velasquez Jr. on the bottom. Trying to make a move, but he's going the wrong direction. 97 got a huge run. Trying to make it work on the top. Oh, they're wrecking Jeremy B. Brown. Huge crash. Turns 3 and 4. Multiple cars spinning. It is a giant crash in turns 3 and 4. The big one happens here at Kansas.
Oh, and one of the drivers had sledgehammer shot into that outside wall. They were spinning around like the blades of a helicopter. That was a huge impact. We're going to have to take a look at some replays there. That was a monstrous shot. And actually, disqualification coming out of that for Hunter Trull. I believe that's the incident point violation 13X here. So a little bit tighter confines than we saw last time out. Look at that. The 54 involved in that, spinning up the track and more drivers piling in. Nothing that they could do there as everybody scattered.
Yeah, it was a rough way to see it. But take a look from high above. See the 54 Coffee make contact with the Jeremy B. Brown machine, and multiple cars get contacted trying to avoid it. Oh, man, I hate to see that so much. A lot of good cars taken out there. Jeremy B. Brown has been having a rough run to this race. And Brandon Hastings, blown motor right now. Actually, hang on a second. Get a camera on Brandon Hastings. We got to get a camera on that. 81. There we go. Sorry. Back on the back straightaway. His right front tire's not moving at all. That car's just destroyed. Multiple cars were involved in that wreck. He looked angry going down the back earlier, but I don't think he hit anybody. So just day done for Brandon Hastings. I hate to see that so much. He's such a great driver, and he's fun to watch. Just, hasn't really had the luck that he needs to be able to make it through. I really hope one day he's able to get that bad luck off his back shoulder.
There's been a lot of drivers just hoping to get the monkey off their back. They've been just stuck in a rut of constant bad luck, sheer misfortune. The racing gods are very, very finicky, I think would probably be the term that we could describe it, where they will not let you get away with much. Sometimes the racing gods will look at you very kindly when you don't do anything, and other times the racing gods, you think you've done everything, and the racing gods will still give you the finger.
We're going to get another restart here shortly, folks. But up front, you can see Adam Benefiel. Of course, these guys are really dang fast. The best way I could put it is that these guys are normally drivers that are, in the full-length Cup Challenge, the big one that happens tomorrow. You're going to watch it here live on Kansas. If you tune in, it's going to be one hell of a race. Adam Benefiel, McWhorter, Hoytsma, these guys, you expect to see them running really dang fast no matter what car they're in. McWhorter, though, last year's champion here in Friday Night Lights. He could compete at any level he wants. Has a good shot for the win tonight, I think. Trying to look at this top 10 to see any cars that stand out. I see one name that really does. The 01 of Casey Graves has really shown me he is a contender, I think, for Rookie of the Year. That 01 car we didn't see at all last year. It's his first career season with the Friday Night Lights. And he's been running really well. Top 10s most of the time when he runs. And, he's not somebody who I expected at the beginning of the season to be up here. But learning about him and seeing how he's doing, honestly, he's running with true speed, doing a great job, and I want to see that continue. I'm hoping Casey Graves continues his good run so far. With 102 laps to go when we get the restart, 97's warming up his tires here just before the restart zone. Look at the jump he's going to get. Huge jump for the 83. We're back underway.
Still side by side, Hoytsma and McWhorter. That's McWhorter stuck on the outside. Hoytsma there on the inside line, and a pack of hungry drivers looking to bite their head off at any single discretion. Benefield leading as they head their way down the backstretch, as it is still formation flying behind.
Side by side for second still as McWhorter tries the top lane, going to carry the momentum. Looks like Velasquez tries to get up, making it almost 3 wide, not quite able to do it. As the 83 comes down in front of the 97, contact, that's going to send the 73 with a run on the top. 83 got loose after contact with Hoytsma, and big beneficiary, Joseph McWhorter goes to the lead.
And now Hoytsma around the outside of Benefield. That's two of the best in the Cup Series, two of the best in this series as well. Throwing the haymakers at each other. More drivers looking to stick their nose into that battle. Contact made once again, heading down the tri-oval into 1 and 2. I thought that was going to spin and end up in a huge wreck right at the front of the field. Benefield and Hoytsma, that needs to separate those two. I know that Benefield is far from happy. Can you blame him?
Oh, no. Can't blame him. He's going the wrong direction, though. He restarted there. And, oh, look out. Casey Graves up into the outside wall. So he got contact with the 18. Velasquez goes spinning in the grass. And so does the 83 at Benefield. Saves the car. So does the 01. But the 18 sideways trying to rejoin the track. Caution is coming out. And that was a thrown caution by race control. Not a... That was very late. I'll say that. That was pretty late.
Yeah, I think it was when that 18 was bracing to come back up on the track that they decided to throw the yellows. You can see that 18 of Velasquez Jr. wild trip off there. He never actually rejoined the track.
No,
he was able to get it woed up. He finally did once that car was under his control once more. Did not slide his way back onto circuit. As you can see, there was a contact. And Bryson Ixenball got a small little bit of that as well. Gotta wonder what the nose situation is on that car.
Not a fun situation right there. I don't like what I saw. It's unfortunate. Now we're going to go ahead and re-rack them up again. Cautions are breeding cautions here, Ron.
Yeah, see, whenever I hear that saying cautions breed cautions, I just think of like a really harmful bacteria. That's just what pops into my head every time. We've kind of got that going on. It's just some old Greek yogurt that's been left in the back of the fridge and the mold is starting to fester. That's kind of what we've got going here with this yellow. And I do apologize to anyone tuning into this broadcast that's currently eating dinner.
Well, there's a little, just to steal a quote from another broadcaster I heard once, I'm going to say this.
They're getting their highway speed, man, practice in. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, highway speed practice right now. Going on the racetrack. Leader right now is going a max speed I'm seeing of 60 miles an hour, 65 maybe and sometimes. Oh, boy. Yep, 65. Not very fast, but they're getting their highway speed practice in.
You know, I will say here, Kirk, and this is honest, I appreciate this more than some other sporting events that are going on at the present moment. And anybody who's interested in baseball and doesn't want to hear the scores, just cover your ears real quick. The Phils got blown out, I think 9-0, just a few moments ago against the Atlanta Braves. Which is getting to the point now as a Phillies fan where I'm not sure whether or not I want to remain a Phillies fan anymore. I knew things were going to be bad. Then opening day happened, and I thought that there was going to be light at the end of the tunnel. But as it turns out, that light is literally just a train coming in the opposite direction. So if you would like to make a bid to have your sports team become the sports team that I cheer for. Thank you. If you would like to make a bid, why not write to us and mark your envelope? I became a Chicago White Sox fan, and now I'm addicted to antidepressants.
Dude, just so sad. So sad. It looks like we're gonna get the restart here in a second. Sorry, Ron. I'm gonna let you live with that one for a minute. New change up front. This is new. 73 of McWhorter. He's choosing the top line for the restart.
Phils haven't been able to hit the broadside of a barn this year.
He's still on the field.
Okay. See, I'm not disappointed. I am just mad. But McWhorter and Hoytsma, your front row as we're about to get this race up and rolling. We got some good storylines, though, inside of your top 10, though, chief among which is Benefiel. Now that he's had this yellow, it's a bit of a restart. I think he'll be able to get his bearings straight. But I don't think the mood is going to be very jovial behind the wheel of that number 83 car. Got some tough competition between he and Lucas Hoytsma. But you know the kind of competitor that he is, Kirk. And he's going to make a charge. You know for sure that he's going to at least try to make a charge, if not make it work. Plus, his car is pretty damn quick tonight.
We're going to find out here. Got a new driver in the top 5. Top 6, I should say. I want to mention Daniel Wiles in the 88 moving forward. Let's see what happens on this restart. Through the restart zone, we're back underway. Outside line, first time doing a big restart. I don't know if that was as good. I think the bottom line might be the one to go with from here on out. That was, could have been, it was a little lackluster to say the least.
And I'm not sure if that played out in many drivers' favors. Benefiel, though, already jumping his way up into 6th as McWhorter feeling some pressure from Lucas Hoytsma, who looks for it around the outside, heading his way off through turn number 3 and 4. Will Hoytsma be able to keep that momentum rolling? He does. Draws alongside, wheel-to-wheel, door-to-door, fender-to-fender as they head their way down into turn number 1, and that's Hoytsma sweeping his way around the outside. If he could just cut down a bit to the bottom, this could be his lead for the taking, and it is Hoytsma now up to the top spot.
New driver in the top 5, Bryson Hicksonball in the 63 has moved his way forward now, caught up to the back bumper of Bryce Reiner. Let me try that again, Reiner. He is trying his best to get by him, sitting P4 right now, going for P3. But yes, new leader Lucas Hoytsma leading the way again. It just feels like that we're seeing changes up front, and I like seeing it. It's a lot of fun to watch how the cars morph over time.
Keeping it close up towards the front of this pack now, just 0.2 of a second, less than that now between your top 2 as they have been able to break away just a bit. Bryce Reiner and Bryson Hicksonball now squabbling for 3rd at the moment, and they've got to worry about the likes of Adam Benefiel, Daniel Wiles, Eric Wineland, Jacob Simpson, and the rest of the pack right behind them. Our top 10, an interesting case right now, Kirk. You've got a mix of drivers who have spent most of this race up towards the top and contending for the spots at the front of the field, and other drivers who've been either up and down like Otis Elevator or ones who've been able to put on commendable drives. Blake Kluot currently holding on to 10th. It's a driver that's really sticking out to me. The hard charger thus far, currently running in 10th. That's a fantastic gain from where he started, pretty much all the way towards the back.
Absolutely right, man. Just a lot of cars making their way forward the longer the run is. I think qualifying doesn't matter as much at this track. It's really about the speed you got in the car. And, yeah, so that's going to be something that you'll see. The cream rise to the top here. Now, McWhorter, I think, is going to get close to Hoytsma here. It's getting closer. These top 2, I think they're not done battling each other yet. I still think that there's a chance McWhorter might be able to get to that back bumper, might do something. We'll see what happens. But 73 still within reach, as well as Hicksonball catching up to him as well. Got a long way to go before the tires start really showing any wear, though.
Yeah, so still a little bit of time left. It's The time that these drivers are going to try and use wisely is 3 wide racing fanning out, heading down the start-finish straightaway. It looked like Jacob Simpson, Andrew Dyson now starting a battle with John Connor right up in front here. This is going to get really, really feisty as it's the 22 on the inside, the 41 looking to hold on to that top spot. 2 drivers with very different agendas right now.
Yeah, I'm just noticing that there's always been a breakaway of 3 cars followed by the rest of the pack in tight succession. You can see that live right now. The third car is right there at the bottom of your screen, just gone as they're side by side for 4th. You see Benefield trying to top. He's going to get the job done, move up to 4th again. As everybody else behind 4th place is just all bunched up as there's more contact. The 70 and the 95 are close to each other again. They made contact again. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Back the 70 car. Oh, he's not happy. Oh, he gets into the 95, comes down into him and collects the 08, crashing and turns 3 and 4. The 08 saves the car. No, caution is going to come out. That 95 was not happy with the 70. Let's go back a little further. We need to get the whole story here. See the 95, Wesley Napier, right in front of the 70. He was running on the lead lap in 21st, it looks like at the time. Contact from the 70, hit the 95 again, gave him a shot on the back bumper, and the 95 says, you know what? Screw it. Cliff Mullins is down there, though. Look out, Cliff. And that contact from Cliff Mullins sends the 95 and the 08 around. Let's take a look and see how the 08 fared in that one. But they were 3 wide down the back. Oh, man, that's a rivalry I did not have in my book today. Matt White and Wesley Napier. I don't even think there's a chance. I don't even think that contact with the with that 95 was even 95 contact was intentional. I don't think there's a chance it might not have been. Because the 44 clipped him. Like, it looked like it could have been intentional, but I could see the other side of the argument. But based on the actions that took place beforehand, man, it does not look good. It does not look good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the final sort of blow in that was the 44 of Cliff Mullins getting involved there. There's only so many drivers you can have stacking up until eventually something is going to break down now. Now, granted, the jackassery that led to that situation going down in the first place was entirely preventable, but you know, some lessons need to be learned, some lessons can be taught, and I fear in the case of the 77, somebody may try and teach him a lesson between now and the end of this race. That, or the incident points will do that. 13X, I am gobsmacked that 70 hasn't hit it, considering, well, I mean, we've had a decent amount of racing through to this point. We've got 86 laps left to go in this 200-lap long race. I mean, how many yellows have we seen so far that the 70 has either been close to being involved in or fully involved in, either gets a piece of the drama, not something that he's at fault for, not saying that every single incident he's been involved in has been one that he was responsible for, but a decent amount of them, he's definitely played a role. So the fact he hasn't hit that 13X yet shows you that miracles can indeed take place.
You know what sound that means? We're about to get a restart here, Howie and Ron. Oh boy, I can't think about what just happened there anymore. My head's gonna explode if it does. Oh man, gotta switch it up. This is America. We're about to have some fun.
Kansas, if that number 70 gets involved in another wreck, I am walking out of this booth.
I didn't know you could. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, put that on the docket. I'll write it down. I better, if it happens, I better hear some, Discord leaving sounds. See if that happens. Woo. Ron, we'll see. All right. Now we're going to get this restart. Ron, look at your top 10. Who's your pick?
You know, in this top 10, I think it's hard at the moment to bet against your top 2 of Hoytsma and McWhorter. However, they've got some pressure from Bryson Ixenball and Adam Benefield. I'm going to keep my eye on that number 63 of Bryson Ixenball because he's been peaking at the right time. You know, we've seen him so many times in the series get the good results right at the end. May not have been the quickest car throughout the day, but peaks at the right time. Let's see if he does it here.
And we're back underway. 97 Hoytsma gets a great jump on the bottom. Here we go down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh boy. Look at this. New car I haven't seen all year long. The 87. John Connor making his first career start here tonight. Running on the top. Gonna try to go for third. Look at this. 4th place, rather. Look at that.
Yeah, so John Connor able to jump into a good spot right now. P4 for a driver that we've been talking about throughout the night, despite the fact that I've never gotten an opportunity to see him out there on the racetrack. He's flexing his muscles, though. That number 87 car looking about as plain as a plain car could be. Looking pretty all right, though. That's a quite good drive for him. Just got past a driver who really should have been your champion last year. That's a fantastic move from John Connor to get past a 7th.
Oh, they're wrecking on the front straightaway. The 1 car, Dustin Hall, out in the outside wall. 1 car incident so far. It will just be a 1 car crash. Caution is out. The 1 car got turned around. This was not with the 70 this time. Let's see what happened here with the 1. You see the 21 of Wineland on the bottom. 1 car, Dustin Hall. Oh, Dustin thought that the 21 was going to go below the line. He wasn't, and Dustin just misjudged it. Made contact, got sent up into the outside wall.
It's the exits of the turns. You don't think it's too much of a deal, but on these multi-groove tracks where everybody can run from the bottom all the way through up to the wall, you're going to see that go on. My mind harkens back, in fact, to the 2019, bless you, Kirk. It flashes back to, don't worry, I've sneezed on the air with you a couple of times before, and it sounds like an elephant getting their foot stepped on.
That's true.
But I think about the 2019 Xfinity at the time it was called race here, and it was pretty much a disaster taking place. Lap traffic involved, 3 cars stacking up heading out of the turn. I believe it was it may have been Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell involved in that. I may have to fact check myself there, and allowed Brandon Jones to get his first win in the series way back when. So the exits of these turns, they may seem quite innocuous, but they can actually prove to be a bit of a silent killer. And we've seen that get put on full display a decent amount here this race, as we have some drivers peeling off the track and hang down pit lane.
Not much. I only see a couple cars choosing to go down. Aiden Amaro's one of them. A few other cars choosing to go down pit road. Not much. You know, sometimes you gotta try some sort of strategy to make a difference in a race. But, you know, there's a driver that is really surprising to me that came down pit road. John Connor in the 87. Hey, remember, he was running in the top 5 just a little bit ago. Now he comes down pit road. We will have fresh tires with 80 laps to go. Now, 87 looks like he's running for Williams Motorsport Development in the Toyota Supra in the 87. He's new to the series, and honestly, I'd like to hear from the guy. I'd like to know a little bit about him a little bit. I'm sure I'll get a chance to talk to him another time if I could find him here. If he's on here, I'll bring him in and see if we can find him.
I have to ask him about his mom, Sarah.
Why?
Terminator? Sarah Connor?
Oh, my. Oh, okay. Okay.
Get out, everybody!
Oh, come on. What? Okay. Hang on. I'm going to see if we can't bring him up here. He was with Williams Motorsports. Let's see if we can't bring him up here and meet him together. John Connor, Kirk Mills in the booth. You got a copy?
Wrong button. Yeah, I got you.
Hey, John, I tell you what, we haven't heard of you before coming into the Friday Night Lights series, and I just want to say you were running really well, top 5 speed. You come down pit road. What's the strategy here at the end of the race? What are you going to do?
I'm just feeling that it's going to go green here. We've had a few cautions in a row, and I was able to work my way up. And after they all stayed out, I was just like, let's take a chance, because I don't think I could win the race straight out. Don't quite have enough speed, but I think I could do it with some strategy. So, just hoping this works.
Well, all right, John. Well, we're rooting for you up here. Wish you the best of luck, pal.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, pleasure talking with you. We'll hear from you another time. We'll send you back to Williams Motorsports Development. Thank you, sir. There you go. That's John Connor. Hadn't heard from him before. There we go. Interesting fellow. I wish I got to know a little bit more personal stuff. I'll ask him that later this week. But in the meantime, doing some strategy. That's why he came down pit road, Ron. Gonna get the restart, though, up front. Hoytsma, McWhorter, Benefiel, and Reiner. These guys have been up front all day long. So has Jacob Simpson, Hicksimo. These guys have been in the top 5, top 10 all day long. Once they got there, they haven't gone away. Let's see what happens. Through the restart zone, we're going to be back underway. Great restart for the 97. 73 gets a decent jump on the outside as well.
I think ever since Hoytsma got this race lead, he's been able to just master these restarts. Now, granted, we are in a green-yellow cycle, so that's certainly helping him out. But now, here comes Adam Benefiel trying to get that P2 spot away from McWhorter. We saw these two briefly battle a bit earlier on in this race, but the 73 just pretty much allowed him to blow his own doors off. Benefiel now, though, he's going to have to work for it, and work for it he will. Wasn't able to get the move done on the first go-round. May try and go for it in a few moments' time. Still has drivers going side by side right behind him, though. That's Simpson and Reiner battling for the final 2 spots in the top 5.
Looks like Simpson might be able to carry the momentum. We've seen him run the outside line so well all day long. I think he's going to be able to carry that momentum around the outside and get the job done just like that. Now, the cars are still choosing to go all over the place. I saw 4 cars choose to take the apron that time by. Some cars are choosing to stay up on the racetrack, but oh my golly, 87 back there with the fresh tires is trying everything to get by the 44. 44 gets loose in front of him, and 44 got up on the outside wall, dropped back, loses a bunch of spots. Take a look and say, oh my golly gracious. Take a look at it. Let's see what happened. So you see this 87 tries to super top, 44 goes up the block, 44 is a little loose, can't hang on to it, corrects it, 87 gets by, no contact.
Oh, and the 32 nearly got body slammed there as the 44 bounced off the fence. Oh, God, that 44 was just all over the place there, heading off through turn number 1 and 2. Very lucky it was only himself that ended up in the barrier. That could have snowballed dramatically from there, as we still keep with it out there on the racetrack. Your top 3 not really able to break away too much. It is a margin that Benefiel and Simpson have between each other, but it's only 0.3 of a second, which is, you know, just a couple of blinks of an eye.
Well, 74 laps to go, coming to get 73 when they cross the stripe, and there is some Noah Woods back in the back of the field is making some wild moves, racing with Jared Grodzicki and the 08. Kind of wild stuff as we're still looking on your screen at the side-by-side battle between the 18 of 18 of Velasquez Jr. and the 21 car of Eric Wineland. They settled things out, but at the back, man, it's still chaotic. 3 wide in places between the 41 and Dyson, a little bit further back. Way further back. Yeah, right here. This is just a hornet's nest right now.
Oh, 3 wide racing as they head their way off into the turn, side-by-side racing. Maybe gonna go on behind. That's gonna be a big stack up there. Bouncing around big time. Oh, it's not gonna work at all. Sliding through the infield. Kluwat, he's gonna rejoin the racetrack as Casey Graves still sliding.
No caution for that one. We saw a car spin through the grass earlier and a caution was thrown. Not this time. Take a look here at the 01. He's racing with Blake Kluwat. Kluwat goes up the racetrack. 26 is there. Kluwat must not have known he was 3 wide. I'm not sure. But he made contact and it hurts Casey Graves, who was having a great run today up until that wreck a handful of laps ago. But look at the lead now. Hoytsma's under fire. Top 3 are all under a blanket. Here comes Benefiel for second as the 73 tries to get the lead.
Yeah, the 73 just desperately clinging on for second. Hasn't been able to launch a challenge on Hoytsma. Benefiel now on the inside as they head their way off through 3 and 4. Gonna drift a little bit up the track. Nearly pinches him up into the fence. They keep it clean, they keep it smooth, they keep it running nice and tidy. Still close quarter stuff in this fight for second as McWhorter desperately clinging on. Benefiel sensing the opportunity. He needs to get this move done, not only because Hoytsma's got going to use this opportunity to drive away. But look at Jacob Simpson. He is now there in that number 22.
Not enough speed to get it done that time by. Hoytsma is able to scoot back away again. Hoytsma with the lead. Trying to run away as fast as he can. But there's a huge gap, by the way, from Daniel Wiles running in P9 all the way back to Dyson. That you can see almost your entire top 10 in one frame going back to Daniel Wiles. But then you got this huge gap to Dyson, and then a lot of cars are just all over the place trying to make it work towards the back of the field. Oh, there's contact. 70 cars going to go through the grass almost again. He made contact with Matthew Boston Wheeler that time. 70 car. But you also see the 22 going in the wrong direction as well.
Lots of stuff going on. We're ping-ponging through the field like a ping-pong ball stuck in a trash compactor. Let's take a look at the replay here to see the 70 on the inside, the 10.
And I think the 10 just didn't go all the way up to the wall that time. I'll give that one to the 10 there. 70 just followed the normal racing line and hit the door of the 10 car. That was a little unorthodox, but happened today. You're still looking at the battle now with Bryce Reiner, Jacob Simpson there, and Hickson-Ball. 3 cars all battling for position number 5.
This is getting real froggy. We saw Simpson trying to rattle the cage of your top 3 runners just moments ago. But ever since then, that car has just died. We've seen the pace of that car fall off dramatically. And now, a bit of a rolling roadblock as Bryce Reiner starting to feel some pressure from Bryson Hickson-Ball as well. So these 3 battling for P5, P6, and P7. I got to wonder, who's going to be the first to try and pounce into this fight? Will other drivers get involved too? Right behind your runner there of Hickson-Ball, slotted in 7th, is Eric Wineland. We talked about him a bit earlier on this race, Kirk. He's going to be a driver that I think we have to talk about, not in terms of contending for a race win, but getting a good result here. He's shown some good speed, just trying to see it through to the end.
Side by side for second place. Velasquez Jr. on mid-quarter as they wreck in turns number 1 and 2, and it's the 70 car. Contact again. They're wrecking in turn 1 and 2. The 31 of Grodzicki's around. Here's a take a look and see what happened here. See the 70 car dive it down to the inside of Zodiac. And yeah, there you go. So, you okay, Ron? Oh, he walked out of the booth. He said he was going to walk out of the booth. He walked out of the booth, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone. That's okay. Let's go back to live. We got stuff going on. Here we go. Okay. The 63 and the 22 are just the 5. This little 3-car pack is just going back and forth, back and forth. And man, it's just all running very similar speeds. Ron, are you back? I guess not. We lost Ron. Oh, no. Top 3. 97 up front again. You got McQuarter P2, Benefield P3. Only a matter of time. But I'm starting to see that 18 car Velasquez Jr. start making a push as well, trying to get to the 3rd place spot. Still side by side for 6th place, Bryce Reiner and Jacob Simpson. We got 61 laps to go when they cross the stripe this time by.
And it's really everybody's race as well, Kirk. You know, I don't think there's been a single driver. Yeah, quick little venture outside, had to catch my breath. We haven't really seen one driver really stake their claim on this race more than anybody else. It's just been a smooth one where everybody said, you know what? Let me have this run of, like, I don't know, probably 25 laps where I've been the quickest car, and then I'll pass it off to somebody else. I think this run that we're seeing right now from Hoytsma, though, holding on to that race lead, is probably the longest that we've seen one driver maintain control of this field for a single period of time. It's been really froggy.
note for everybody here, that 70 car of Matt White has been officially disconnected from the server. He is no longer a part of the race. He has dropped out after that most recent incident there. Continuing on, though, we got a long way to go to the end of this thing. Are people going to choose to come down pit road? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what the fuel cycle looks like. Trying some strategy for others. Remember, the 87 of John Connor was hoping for green and clean and green. Looks like we've gotten that so far, as they're still side by side here for third. Benefield's going to use his momentum to get by, but now Hicksonball's closing in on the picture, trying to get up to fourth.
And look at everybody fanning out, using different lines and converging in on that one point. It's the exit of these turns. That's absolutely brutal. Benefiel now falling back into the crutches. Not only does he have to worry about Charles Velasquez Jr., he's got to worry about Bryce Reiner sticking at 3 wide, trying to be the meat of the sandwich, heading off through 3 and 4. He is right there at a pound, but he's sensing an opportunity for sure. I think Velasquez Jr. and Benefiel, certainly Benefiel's pace has been a bit more manageable than Velasquez. Velasquez, it's been rather touch and go. He's either been fully there really quick or just dropping down like an anvil pushed out of a helicopter. Currently holding on to P5 as Bryce Reiner got to sweep around the outside of him, heading down the backstretch into 3 and 4. That 18 car, in terms of the pace, has been about as hard to pin down as a chicken on steroids.
Man, it's just so fun to watch. You ever just sit back? You know what? Let's do this. For the next handful of laps, we're just not going to talk. Just enjoy it. Velasquez Jr. making a dive here on Adam Benefield for position. It looks like he's going to get the job done, up to fourth that time. Bryce Reiner running P3, trying to chase down the top 2 leaders. And it is Hoytsman, McWhorter, Reiner, Velasquez Jr., then Adam Benefield, your top 5 as of the moment. Rest of the field still spread out. No one really close to each other up towards the front. It's really kind of separated, but I think that's going to change slowly as we continue to go. I'm going to have Ron take over here for a moment, and I'm going to go down and talk to my correspondent and find out what we got in terms of fuel.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Whoa! What a
Yeah.
save.
Oh,
Holy cow.
and he's still trying to hold on to it. That's Eric Wineland with a rodeo ride heading out of turn number 4. Thought that was going to end in catastrophe in about 7 different ways, but he held on to it. Currently holding on to the final spot inside the top 10 is Andrew Dyson starting to reel him in. And folks, of course, here on Maconi Entertainment, we don't just bring you the Friday Night Lights O'Reilly series. We have also got the full-length Cup Challenge every single Saturday here, the sister series to this, where some of the stars in the world of NASCAR sim racing are out there on the racetrack, bringing the heat, bringing the thunder. We had a thriller last time out at Bristol, and looking forward to tonight's action. Of course, tonight's action here for the O'Reilly machinery and the Friday Night Lights here at Kansas, and of course tomorrow night's action in the Cup Series as well. If you want to stay tuned to all the action, how about you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on any of it, as we still have some close battles right now. This is Bryce Reiner and Charles Velasquez Jr. side by side. Reiner, the momentum stalling as he headed his way off through turn number 3 and 4, and Velasquez Jr. nearly getting to his back bumper, nearly getting to the back quarter panel as he is still close to one another. Just a tiny bit of overlap. It is enough to rattle the cage of the driver that you're going side by side with. And now the 18 go once again pull close. However, just not able to keep that momentum rolling that high side. Just working out for these drivers lap after lap. Defense after defense, these drivers have been able to rip up that top side and just hold on to every single spot that they have been. The 5 still alongside the number 18 of Charles Velasquez Jr., but Velasquez briefly cleared to jump his way up into 3rd. They will continue to fight with Adam Benefiel, getting the first-class front row back action to it all right now. He's got a fantastic view. We are starting to see some pit stops. The pit stops have returned, and so too is my colleague Kirk Mills.
Yep, looks like that. Right when I was going to go ask some friends, it looks like that all of them are choosing to come down here in the next 5 to 10 laps. So it's really short notice. So we're going to see some cars come down pit road if we stay green. You already see Eric Wineland on pit road, Steve Benjamin, Bill Hull, these guys coming down, of course. And got to give 27 a little credit. Tim Phillips, he's going down pit road as well here shortly. But I think it would be very unlikely to see folks stay out any longer than they have. We already have 61 laps for the leaders on this set of tires. Obviously, not all of them were green, but 33 laps for most folks since the last caution. John Connor is the first one on older tires, but I think, based on what I've seen, he might be able to make it to the end of the race. Caution's out. Never mind. Forget about it. Correct. It looks like Boston Wheeler might be the cause of that caution. The 10 car, Boston Wheeler, looks like.
Yeah, it's not been a good night for that number 10 machine. He's been really struggling. We saw him with a moment a bit earlier on here as he was sliding his way off through the infield grass. This heading down into turns number 3 and 4. Wiggle there on the bottom. Was he trying to get woed up on the pit lane?
Yeah, he was trying to go to pit road, but he did not call it out over the radio, and that's what brought out the caution. Nobody told the 42 he was coming down pit road. And when people do that, you know, it's a risk. Obviously, he's trying to go for positions, get the best finish he possibly can. But, yeah, I mean, he's kind of giving signs, but it wasn't much. You know, I don't blame Mason there for that. That 10 car might want to call that one out. Considering he had a guy right on his back bumper. I wouldn't have hit the brake with a guy that close.
You know, honestly, there were some signs, but there were signs that could also indicate that he was just really loose, heading his way off through 3 and 4 and had to check out of it big time. When you see that true drop-off in pace where it's clear, okay, he's probably dropping the anchor, slamming on the brakes, and trying to get woed up into pit lane, there was about, like a quarter of a second of reaction time that he could have had there. Not even a drag racer or a trained fighter pilot would have been able to avoid that bit of contact. Unfortunate, but when I was in race control, there's a reason why I always emphasize and make your intentions clear, as here we go. Everybody making their intentions clear, filing down pit lane.
You know, something wild. Daniel Wiles, I think, is going to be the big winner here because he got on the pit road right at the right time. He's going to come out, and I think... No, I don't think so. I think we'll have to look at it because I think he might be a lap down. He might not. But everybody coming down pit road. You can see it now. Man. Looks like we're going to get 4 tires and gas for most of these folks. Anybody want to pull some strategy? This is your chance to do it. Let's find out together. Not this time.
I'm a little bit shocked here, Kirk. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that we didn't see anybody even attempt it. Nobody was too adventurous in that run through pit lane. Maybe a couple of examples a little bit farther in the back, but all in all, everybody was fairly routine in that run down pit lane. Maybe they're saving it for the end, potentially thinking, okay, let's just put ourselves in a good spot now, and then maybe if we, I don't know, head off into a green-white checkered a little bit later on in this race, maybe that'd be the time to throw 2 tires. It's tough. Now that the sun is set, I think the track temperatures are favorable for drivers maybe having to more so worry about dirty air than worn tires.
Also, I need to let you know some cars that came down pit road before the caution got a big disadvantage. Bryson Hicksonball is one of them. He had to take the wave around. So Hicksonball, instead of being in the top group of people, will now have to come through the whole field again to try and get into the top group. Another driver, Jacob Simpson, started on the pole today. He's also going to take the wave around here. We're going to see a lot of different players in the top 10 because a bunch of these guys, even Andrew Dyson, who was running top 12, were all coming down pit road before that caution came out, and it was just bad timing for him, unfortunately.
You know, racing is kind of like the stock market when it comes to talking about the strategy. If you make the right move at the wrong time, it is going to be very much so the wrong move. Unfortunate there. Driver that I had my eyes on that previous restart, things just falling apart.
All right, folks. We're about to get this thing back underway. 42 laps to go. Pace cars on pit road. Hoytsma's going through the restart zone, and we are back underway here from Kansas. Up front, side by side for second. Velasquez Jr. on the bottom, trying to make the bottom line work. You see McWhorter on the top. McWhorter's going to carry the momentum. I think it might work out for him, but the 18 sends it into 3 and 4. This ain't over yet for the top 2 spots. They're right on each other. Look out, 18 had to lift a little bit. He got loose on the exit of the corner. Hey! So did cars in the back of the field. They saved the car, keep it going straight.
Oh, that was Blake Kluot. Had a couple of sideways wiggles as he headed his way out of 4 across the stripe. He holds on to 8th for now, but a fantastic drive for that number 14 machine, hoping we didn't just send him a commentator's jinx, but he's been able to put together probably one of the best drives for himself so far this season. As up at the front, Hoytsma and McWhorter once again duking it out. I think McWhorter, I think he's got this short run speed, so he's going to try and make the most of it now.
This could be the battle for the win right here. The 73 McWhorter trying to topside. On the inside, Lucas Hoytsma side by side. This will be for the eventual lead and possibly the win. Clean air means so much. 97 on the bottom, keeps fighting, not quite enough. Still side by side. 73 on the top, 97 on the bottom. Last year's championship contenders. See the 73 on the top trying to carry that momentum. Will he be able to get clear that time? Not this time. It looks like he will. Yep, he is. Nope, not quite. Still ever so close on that right rear quarter panel. Sending him back, putting the air on a spoiler. Sending him back with that side draft right at the worst spot. But this time, it works. Joseph McWhorter goes to the lead. And now he's got 38 and a half laps to hold it off.
Yeah, trying to hold on to get that race win and also get a second Dash for Cash bonus in a row. That would be a fantastic night for that driver, the number 73 car, your reigning champion here this season, who has shown a lot of speed. That much we can confirm. However, to this point in the campaign, yet to win in his championship return. So this would be a good night in more ways than one for McWhorter if he can hold on to this spot. But now he's got to play a much different game than what he was doing a few moments ago. He was on the offense a few moments ago, trying to take that race lead. Now that he has it, he's got to switch to defense. And sometimes the driver can make that change be almost seamless. In other occasions, though, it's a bit of a harder swap. Let's see if McWhorter can pull it off well.
Top 3 again, like we saw before. Top 2 pull out to a little bit of a lead. Third place kind of has a bubble on the front and back. And then fourth place has a long train of cars right behind him. It looks like that's happening yet again here. I'm starting to see that as a trend so far today. A lot of that going on. You can see Jinx.
Yeah, you can see both of these drivers up in the front running very different lines. I gotta wonder, who do you think is feeling the most comfortable about this situation? I'm gonna say that Lucas Hoythman second is feeling probably the best about this all. He's probably happy. He's got to dive for it down the inside to turn number 1. It's kind of like a cat playing with a mouse before he eats it.
I don't know. All I know is that 97's not letting him get away. And 97's running a line that has more banking, less heat in the tire, might help him on the long run. That 73, though, running a little bit more difficult line. He's trying to up a lane higher that time through 1 and 2. A little bit of a wiggle out of the 97. He's going to lose a little bit of ground down the back. And if McWhorter's able to hang on, that would be a miraculous showing of driving. But I'm thinking right now the biggest thing on his mind is making sure he can take care of those tires. We still got a long way to go. We saw it earlier. 45 laps was enough laps for some of the fast guys to get past a lot. McWhorter's got a long way to go. He's got to hang on. Hoytsma being right behind him, trying to bushwhack the whole series. We'll see if he's able to do it again. No doubt about it, he is a driver who can. We've seen it happen, and he's all over the back bumper to leader. This time he sends it in deep on the bottom.
Yeah, not able to jump into that spot. Hoytsma, though, I feel like he's just having fun with it. You know, he's just trying to send it down, think of the opportunity, not really feeling a lot of pressure from behind, at least for now. Bryce Reiner in that 5 machine, who's really been a standout star thus far here tonight. He's in third, slowly reeling these drivers in. The main worry that they're going to have is the return of Adam Benefiel. Now, Adam Benefiel, of course, we saw that contact with himself and Lucas Hoytsma a little bit earlier on. I'm not sure if there's a lot of love lost between those two drivers. Probably not any sort of hatred. Who knows, maybe he forgot about it by now. But race car drivers never forget. A great Prometheus, Jimmy Spencer, taught us that a long time ago. And you also have to consider, if Benefiel gets past Reiner, gets past Hoytsma, then he has Joseph McWhorter. Setting aside their long-standing rivalry, that's a battle not only for a race win, for two drivers looking to gun it for that regular season championship, they're also your top drivers in the dash for cash. So nothing is going to be more of a dangling carrot in front of a racing driver's head than a little bit of moolah.
No doubt. No doubt. No, I'm noticing one thing here. Do you remember whenever the 70 car was out here, he got in a little bit of a tussle with the 95 of Wesley Napier? Guess what? He's now recovered that 95. He's now running side by side for P8 rather, with the 87 car, John Connor. So that 95 is recovered well, and so has the 01 of Casey Graves, who got involved in that big wreck earlier. Saved the car, got the car fixed up, and now trying to hang on to a top 10 finish. All three cars having a great day so far. Great recovery days for them. As up front for the lead, 97 showing the nose up front. Just had to wiggle out of it, backed out. 73 is a little loose, hit the wall a little bit there. 97 might take advantage of it. He's going to try to top.
They're just not able to keep that momentum rolling as here comes the 5. He's going to close it up big time off through 3 and 4. Going to pull alongside as they head their way across the stripe. Reiner, who's at it just probably one of his best races this season here tonight. He's looking not just for a good run, not a good haul of points. Oh, yabba gabba damn it, that nearly ended in tears.
I feel like that needs to be a sound clip, folks. You might want to do that. That would be funny. I like that. 5 car lost a few spots, though, unfortunately, after that little wiggle. I think that was his big shot. Unfortunately, didn't work out. We'll see if he's able to recover. It's going to be really hard. But Tyler Hunter in the 48 car, P6 right now, right on the tail end of these guys. He has not been in top 5 at all today. He's catching up to the back bumper of these guys, and he's hanging on to the lead pack. He might have a shot here.
Oh, it's getting really froggy in this fight. You can see, yeah, close up in the front, McWhorter now feeling the pressure from Hoytsma, who got down to the bottom all through 3 and 4. Here comes Lucas Hoytsma. Here comes Adam Benefield, though. He's right behind, getting that front row seat. Gonna maybe stick a 3 wide heading off into turn number 1. This is a thrilling way to end this race, and we still have 27 laps left to go.
You hear Jaws' theme coming. You know that 83, when you see him in his mirror, you want to go ahead and try and hide and run. 83's on the move. 73's out of it. He doesn't have to tire anymore. He's losing spots left and right. McWhorter's got a ways to go to try and recover. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but Hoytsma goes to the lead. Benefield P2, and side by side for third with the 5 and the 73. It's going to change the outcome of this race. 97 and Benefield. Benefield we saw win last week after one of the best sportsmanlike moves I've ever seen. Now he's going to have to try and chase down the leader as he's got hard chargers behind him of Velasquez, Bryce Reiner, and even Tyler Hunter now coming into the picture.
Oh, but that convergence of cars, I'll be honest, Kirk, I don't have a good feeling about it,
Whoa.
and that's exactly why Bryce Reiner and Charles Velasquez Jr. banging doors and fenders as they head their way across the stripe. It gets a little bit close once again, heading off into turn number 2. These drivers, they're not even throwing haymakers at each other. They're basically throwing chemical weapons at each other's faces. This is crazy that we're seeing right now.
Velasquez and Reiner making sure that 48 can't do nothing about it, but Blake Kluoff now closed in on this battle. 14 adds in as the top 2 have scooted out to a little bit of a lead over McWhorter. Benefield trying to chase down Hoytsma, who has now extended their top 2 lead by 8/10, but there goes Velasquez with the save of the century right there. Car was completely sideways, keeps the car straight, but loses 2 spots in the process.
Yeah, at this point with the amount of battling that we're seeing here, Kirk, I am still gobsmacked that we are still green. We've had so many drivers go side by side, go 3 wide at some points in time here, and it hasn't ended in disaster yet. I'm not going to rule it out. These drivers, they're a little bit frustrated. They've just come off the back of so many short tracks in a row that you can imagine the general mood within the garage. Drivers are not happy with each other. Teams aren't happy with each other, and it may come to it. It's all right, come to a head in some points here. May come to a head once more, as that's the 48 of Tyler W. Hunter and the 14 of Blake Kluot going side by side. Charles Velasquez Jr. just kind of left in that battle, not really sure what to do. The odd man out is he's now going to make Tyler W. Hunter the odd man out, sweeping around the outside into 1. Gonna try and jump his way up into that spot uncontested for P6. It looks like that fight will continue once more. Tyler W. Hunter clears him there on the inside. Lucas Hoytsma, though, leading by 0.3 of a second. Benefield did a whole lot to get himself into P2. Does he have anything left to jump up to that P1 spot?
No, he doesn't. No, I don't think so. I think he's going to have a whole lot of speed in that car to be able to make it work to get by the dirty air. Hoytsma's going to need to make a mistake. Something's going to need to happen. But I still think Benefield has a quick car if he has clean air. He's just stuck right now in that dirty air behind the 97. And it's going to be real hard to make that move. It's going to be real hard. 48 car losing a spot again to the 18 after his recovery. But what I can see, let's see if we can pull up the graphic lap times between the top 2 if we can. So we can see who's gaining, who's not. It should be a little bit before we see it. But in the meantime, keep in mind, this is a large gap between these folks. Look at these lap times. Near identical lap times between first and second. We're going to watch this next time by. Keep that up for a little while. We'll see how it looks. About 2.5 of a second. 83's using the top line, trying to do a top line, ripping the top. And Hoytsma's just running the bottom consistently. This time by, it looks like it was a loss that time, barely. But they're holding steady, got 19 to go, got a long way to go to be able to fix things. You can see Tyler Hunter get passed by Casey Graves, and now Kluot's under fire again from the 18 of Charles Velasquez Jr. again.
Yeah, I will say, and this is honest, whenever we pull up this graphic towards the end of these races, I feel like I'm on like some sort of like stock show, like on CNBC or something like that, talking about the other morning stock market news. The Dow Jones Industrial is up a little bit, as Benefield down on the past 2 laps here, as that was Charles Velasquez Jr. nearly up into the wall as he headed his way into one. Those wall taps are getting a bit more common. These drivers running out of gas, not actually running out of gas in terms of their cars. Trust me, I've covered enough fuel-saving racing over the past 24 hours that I don't want to think of any fuel saving at the end of this race. But these drivers probably feeling a little bit exhausted, and we're starting to see that come out in terms of the driving attitudes. I'm not sure about you, Kirk, but I am starting to see some mistakes start to creep in, not just for the racers farther behind, but even for these drivers up at the north end of the field. It's getting sloppier out there, for lack of a better term.
I mean, I got to tell you, the leader's not being sloppy at all. If you look at his lap times, the last handful of laps, he has not been more than half a tenth off in his lap times since the restart. The guy has been consistent the entire time. The guy is just nuts on another level. And it's awesome to watch. It's really actually so dang cool to watch. But no, Benefield's also in the same boat. But the further back you get, cars less handled good, problems like that. You're going to start seeing new cars coming to the top 10. Take a look at who's running P9 right now. Jared Wishon in the 26 car. We had not seen him in the top 10 all day today. He was in the back of the field trying to avoid a crash earlier, got put up in the outside wall, was an innocent bystander with that contact that happened earlier. But he has recovered and now cracked the top 10 with 15 to go. I mean, what a run for that 26 car. Happy to see it out of a rookie, Jared Wishon.
Yeah, fantastic drive as all the shenanigans have gone down here in this race. We haven't focused on that number 26 too much throughout this one at all. Another driver that I think should be given some love as we get towards the end is your current 11th place runner of Drew Prohl. Prohl is one of the drivers actually contending for the Dash for Cash here in that 08 machine. He started pretty much right at the back, and we didn't really talk about him, frankly, at all throughout this race, but probably holding on to P11 right now, and only about 4 to 3/10 of a second is the margin between himself and Jesse Winslow to maybe even break into the top 10. That would be a good result for Drew if he can grab it.
Top 10 sounds pretty dang good, especially when you know that 08 car was wrecked earlier, got involved in an accident, recovered well, top 15 now. But again, I'm looking here at the gap here for the lead, and it is not changing much. Not very much at all. 83's trying everything he can to try different lines, different moves to try and move forward. But I don't think that 83 has it right now. That car is really loose. He's struggling.
Yeah, just as you said when I passed the question off to you, and I think it's completely true what you said. I think Benefield just squeezed a little bit too much out of it, squeezed too much juice out of that lemon, trying to make a million glasses of lemonade, and now in the process of it, all of those glasses of lemonade are going to go spoiled. Benefield still looking to finish in P2, still looking to get the Dash for Cash if we're going to hang on to it and not get overtaken by Joseph McPorter in the final 12 laps of this race. But I still, we know the kind of competitor that Adam Benefield is. There's any driver in this series that is more PO'd about a second place finish, even when it comes down to a long run where it just doesn't really work out in his favor. It's Adam Benefield. It's not a matter of him being a sore loser. No, that's not the case. He's just very competitive, and he holds himself to a very high standard too.
Lost another 2/10 that last time by. Benefield now dropped back now to 6/10 behind the leader of Lucas Hoitzma with only 10 laps to go when they cross the stripe next time by. Lucas Hoitzma. I mean, that guy is just able to win in anything you put him in. Last year's champion of the Full-Length Cup Challenge comes down here to the Friday Night Lights Series trying to do some bushwhacking. That's why he has that M&M's paint scheme, reminding all of us of the glory days of Kyle Busch being able to win at any track he went to in the Busch Series. In the Nationwide Series at the time, depending on when you're watching. And, man, it was just something else. And now, He's got that paint scheme reminiscing about that time. And you're looking at the cars on track, and the only thing I could say is that they're going to need a miracle here to try and catch up to Hoytsma, but Hoytsma just wants this thing to stay green and clean all the way to the end.
So you mentioned a miracle, and knowing how the racing gods tend to respond to stuff like that, that'll be when the yellow comes out. But 9 laps left to go. If we can keep it clean and green through to the end, it looks like it'll be a victory for Lucas Hoytsma. And, you know, throughout the season here, Kirk, he's had a fantastic run. This would be his 3rd win in the first 10 races of the season. Now, granted, he's contending for Cup Series points, so it doesn't really matter all that much, but still 3 wins to this point in the championship compared to last season where he arguably should have gone more here in this series. Nearly ended up making it into the championship 4 in the Friday Night Lights series instead. I think the racing gods smiled upon him kindly by him winning the Cup Series championship. But Hoytsma, very talented, only 1 win last season, so I think he's making up for lost time here.
You can also see right here, side-by-side battle on your screen. Charles Velasquez Jr. on the bottom, Bryce Reiner on the top. That is for position. Velasquez Jr. moves up to 4th as Reiner drops back to 5th. And I think that might be one of the last passes we'll see here if we stay green. Back behind them, though, of course, there's battling going on throughout the field. 48 and the 01, for example. Tyler Hunter and Casey Graves side-by-side for position right there. P number 7, it looks like. And also, look who's coming up to the back bumper of them. It's Jared Wishon again. These guys are kind of underdogs in this series. All sitting right now, P7, 8, and 9.
We still have the battles. They're still hot. Hey, look at this. This is 3-wide racing nearly. Casey Graves, Tyler W. Hunter, and Jared Wishon getting involved in this. This is getting real close, as you can see a little bit of contact there between Casey Graves and Tyler Hunter. That 48 car, he's had a wild race through to this point, but I think he may be able to weather the storm despite getting caught up in some drama himself. Of all of the races that we have had in the past month here in this series between The Rock, Martinsville, Bristol, and Kansas, who would have thunk that Kansas saw the biggest beef, hardest battles, best racing, and some of the most amount of crashes too?
I mean, it was an all right race so far. I mean, nothing really out of the ordinary. 26 got up in the outside wall, but look at this. McWhorter is now closed in on Benefiel for 2nd. There's a chance that might happen.
And the dash for cash too.
Yeah, that's a big deal right there. A little bit of money. Coming to get 3 laps to go this time. There we go, 3 laps to go. Hoytsma's got this thing in the bag if he can hang on to it, but the 73 and the 83, this is going to be the battle, I think. Oh, 73 up in the wall. That's going to really affect his race. 18 also got by Reiner again. Reiner's trying to get by Velasquez, but that 73 might have did it in just there. 2 laps to go when they cross the stripe.
Yeah, I think that may have been a $100 mistake from McWhorter. Had the opportunity to close up to Benefiel and at least trying to rattle his cage to maybe get the W. Well, get the W in that dash for cash, but not going to be enough there. We still have a few moments left to go here, but it looks like it is upper hand Benefiel to win the $100. But in terms of this race, it looks like Lucas Hoytsma, who we talked about a decent amount in the first half, but he came alive once that sun started to set.
Coming through turns 3 and 4, coming to get the white flag this time by Lucas Hoytsma crosses the stripe. 1 more lap to go here in the Friday Night Lights series. He's got a huge margin over Adam Benefiel. Through turns 1 and 2, that 97 M&M's Toyota Supra going out of the corner. It has a clean and green track. He has been dominant when he comes down to the Friday Night Lights series. Through 3 and 4 for the final time, Lucas Hoytsma will come out of turn number 4, and he will win his 3rd race of the year here at Kansas for the Friday Night Lights series.
And what a drive. We didn't really talk about anybody being the dominant force throughout most of this race. Then came Lucas Hoitzma, and he just kicked on the Hyperjets. What a drive from him. What a drive from Benefield as well, clawing his way through the running order, gets the dash for cash, and Joseph McWhorter run ends at 1 week and 1 week alone as a dash for cash winner. Now we head off to Talladega with some more money left to be grabbed and some more honors to be grabbed as well.
Let's take a look at our finishing results while Hoitzma gets back to the front straightaway. Finishing in first again, Lucas Hoitzma got the job done, followed by Benefield, McWhorter, Charles Velasquez Jr., Bryce Reiner, Blake Kluot, Tyler Hunter, Casey Graves top 10 finish, along with Jesse Winslow and Jared Wishin getting their first top 10 of the season.
And then looking outside of your top 10 here tonight, it's going to be Daniel Wiles in P11. Drew Prohl ends up in a still rather impressive P12. Bryce Nixonball, good little fight back for him after that kick in the shins that we did see a little bit earlier on. Ends up at lucky spot P13. Kind of fitting considering how the night went for him. Noah Woods in 14th place. Didn't talk about him too much. John Connor, the other newcomer in that 87 machine, ends up in 15th place. That works out quite well for him. Tanner Marty, as my voice gives out, ends up in 16th place. Mason Lowry in P17. Andrew Dyson in 18th with Eric Wineland and Jared Grodzicki completing your top 20.
The rest of the finishers will be coming across your screen. Wesley Napier, Cliff Mullins, Aiden Amaro, Jacob Simpson, Kyle Ammon, Tim Phillips, Bill Hull, Matthew Boston Wheeler, Kevin Zosiak, and Dustin Hall round out your top 30 with Steve Benjamin, Daniel Llewellyn, Matt White, Brandon Hastings, Alex Coffey, Dave Hoitzma, Jeremy B. Brown, Hunter Truhl, Cody Bird, Ryan Von Hinchel rounding out your top 40, and your final three finishers would be Charles Eaton, Seth Foudy, and Michael Mesnar. The rest of those were D and Qs. Did not qualify in time. And it's about time that we bring up today's winner. Lucas Hoitzma gets the job done. Lucas, you got a copy?
I do.
Hey, man, third win of the season. Man, you're starting to get used to talking to you up here, man. How's it feel?
Man, it feels great. My teammates start to call me clean air man. You know, when I get out there up front, I feel a lot better. So, man, it feels good to get 3 wins. I'd like one of these to maybe be on Saturdays, but, you know, I'll take it. Feels really good. You know, I don't normally like these Kansas races, but tonight was one heck of a time. I really enjoyed it. These guys are a ton of fun to race with. And, oh, man, I can't believe I was able to hold them off on that last run. I was just driving that car as hard as I could to stay in front of Adam and McWhorter. Joseph found something at the end of that run. He was starting to creep up. I think if he had 5 or 10 more laps, he might have got there. But, man, I don't know. That was a super fun race.
Man, like you said, you'd like to see this thing happen tomorrow, probably. What do you feel like your odds are here to going into the full-length Cup Challenge tomorrow night, same time? What do you think? How's your car going for it? And do you think you got a good shot to win that one?
Yeah, we've put in a bit more time this week, trying to get something that, you know, I can really drive hard. And I mean, hopefully we got that tomorrow. I don't know, but that's a whole different ball game. You know, you get into these races on Fridays, it's all about saving your stuff and driving clean and having patience. Tomorrow, it's going to be all about finding a gap where you can get it and get in track position. So I don't know. It's been tough for me this year, but I'm glad to be back at one of those intermediate tracks tomorrow. All
right, man. Well, anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. My family for watching. You guys for doing the broadcast and everything. Everybody for racing tonight. Everybody was a ton of fun to race with. Everybody at Low Drag Esports and everybody in CTC as well. So appreciate all them.
Well, again, thank you so much for talking with us, Lucas. And by the way,
you won!
If you remember that from the old NR 2003 days. Congrats, pal.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for talking with us. All right. That was our victor right there. Lucas Hoitzma getting the job done. Now P2 is going to be with Ron. Ron?
And Adam Benefield now joining us here in the broadcast booth. Adam, welcome in. I could cut this 2 ways. It's P2 for you in this race, but he got the dash for cash. That certainly makes up for it with that $100 check.
Yeah. I mean, P2 sucks, but I forgot about the dash for cash until McWhorter said something in the infield care center there. And but yeah, that's great. $100. Yeah, it just sucks, you know. Lucas just aero blocking, driving like Ross Chastain out there. instead of racing straight up. He's just stealing my air. He needs to paint that car like a trash can. That's why I like Skittles instead of M&Ms.
You know, Adam, I do a disgusting amount of these broadcasts week in and week out, peaking at probably about like 20 a week. Every single time I get the opportunity to interview you, I learn new things about the world. So I will give you props about that. But I want to ask you about this race. It looked like a pretty competitive one, really up and down, some wild racing. And I know from our perspective in the broadcast booth, it was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, all honesty, it was a really good race. It was fun. I didn't get to run any laps, so the first laps I had this week was practice, and qualifying kind of showed. But I like this track. I got a way that the way I drive fits this place, especially on long runs. And then Hasty made a few tweaks off what we ran or what we put out this week, and to kind of accommodate this weather, and that really helped out a lot. So big shout out to him. I could really put the car anywhere I wanted to, and yeah, it was a good race until I guess it looked like we had somebody in the back of the field that didn't know how to drive beside other cars and kept wanting to wreck them. Seemed like it was a common denominator in every single one of the wrecks. So maybe he'll go and get some lessons from his setup provider and learn how to go in a circle. But besides that, everything else was great.
Well, I will say earlier on in this broadcast, I made a joke about my beloved Philadelphia Phillies not being able to hit the broadside of a barn this year, but that driver, I believe, may have been able to make up for that. But Benefiel, next time out, we're going to be running at Talladega for the next race of the season to round off the first third of this campaign. What are your thoughts heading down there in Alabama?
Well, considering the track is 10 minutes away from my house and my track record of super speedways, I'll probably end up in the catch fence. So, not really looking forward to it at all.
What alcoholic beverage would you want us to pour out in the event that takes place?
Some Miller Lights or Mickey's, whatever you got cold.
Yep, 10-4, man. I'll make sure I pour a cold one out for you. But Adam, we'll let you give any thank yous or shout outs before we let you go.
Yeah, everybody at TCSP. I mean, clearly it shows week in and week out that what Audie's doing is unbelievable. You know, the consistency is really great. This second week in a row that finished P2, so I'm kind of getting tired of that. But yeah, no, just everybody over there, everybody that helps. Hate that Hastings got taken out. Like I said, he had a good piece tonight, and he was doing pretty good. So big shout out to him for tweaking on it, and you guys for broadcasting, and you guys for putting Kurt back up in the booth. He's like the modern day Wally Dallenbach. So glad to see him back where he belongs.
Thanks, man.
That's beautiful. That's Adam Benefield, thank you for joining us in the broadcast booth, and we'll see you next time at Talladega.
All right, see y'all.
Interviewing Adam Benefield is like interviewing Bugs Bunny. Kirk, I'll pass the mic off to you to have a chat with Joseph McCoy, our P3 finisher.
Third place finisher, Joseph McCorder got the job done here. Top three. Man, you had one fast hot rod underneath you. Just couldn't quite get it done there at the end. Man, you had a fun race, it looked like. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, Johnny and the boys built a really good car. It was just really good all night from start to finish. I only made very small adjustments throughout the race, and really wanted to try and win that one. Man, the car was there, but the driver made some mistakes there at the final stage.
Gotta ask you, man, I know that you had yourself one heck of a good run there at the end. You had a good chance to win. But I gotta ask you here, when you're running out there, you know, you're trying to go for that, you know, dash for cash, you missed it out just about one spot. I know that's probably going to sting for a while, but I know that you're going to Talladega next week. What's your opinions on that track? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What's your outlook on next week?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks to be one spot short. I mean, I kind of made a mistake. I chased Adam back down, and I tried to see if I could run the wall and try and get to his right rear quarter panel because it was going to be the only way to try and pass him, and I got too tight and got into it. So that one was a mistake on me. As for Talladega, I mean, Talladega's Talladega. It's fun if you have a really good group of guys, which we do. I mean, we normally have some pretty good super speedway racing. Not to mention Outlier, Johnny, and the guys. I mean, it seems like every race we show up with a car that's just at the front every super speedway race. You look at Daytona, almost went in there. We had a shot to win Atlanta. We had a shot to win Talladega last season. So I'm feeling pretty confident. It just all depends on how the cars fall, how the pushes go. I am a little worried about that. I haven't got to test this car in the new Aero yet with Super Speedway because I think that came out after we finished the 2 Super Speedway races, so that's going to be interesting. Not to mention, I don't know with the recent update how the car pushes either. So a lot of unknowns going into next week.
Yeah, for sure, my man. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be racing with you. I think that will be my last race before I'm all said and done. But anyway, anybody want to shout out before we let you go back out? Congrats on third place, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I want to thank Outlier Speedco first and foremost. Like I said already, Johnny and the guys, they've been working their butts off, trying to build really good setups for all the series. Johnny's been putting in some insanely late hours. I don't know how he does it. And then I had to put in some insanely late hours today. I've been up since 2 a.m., drove all the way from West Virginia back to Missouri, and here I am with no laps before the race. So, yeah, it's a big shout out to him. I mean, that's a testament right there that I can go with no experience going into the race and use his equipment to go out here and have a good run. Red Camel Racing, go check them out at redcamelracing.com. Fire suit, shoes, helmets, you name it, they've got it. I can't wait to go wear their equipment tomorrow. It's our first race of the season in the Crown Vic, so go check them out if you want really good, comfortable fire suits. RedCamelRacing.com. They're fantastic. Let's see. BK Games. I need to get Trading Paints to work so you guys can see it. But BK Games, go check them out on Facebook. I think they also have a website linked on their Facebook, but it's BK Games on Facebook. If you're a nerd like me, you like Pokemon or any of the nerdy stuff, they've got it. Amazing people. Dakota is the owner. Amazing person. You guys are putting on the broadcast. Kirk, you guys do a fantastic job. You, Howie, and Ron, all of you guys do a great job. Drivers for an awesome race. The admins for the hard work. And, yeah, just ready to get into next week.
All right, man. Thanks so much for talking with us. Congrats on third place, and thanks for your kind words.
Thank you, buddy. Oh, they just posted the points. I got the points lead.
Oh, well, all right then.
All right then. Let's look at that.
Yeah, consider. All right, and you did that without hitting a win yet. I mean, that's saying something, man.
We're
That's
gonna
good.
get it. We're here. Hey, we're here. We're up front every week. I know that we'll get one. I think once we get that first one done of the season, I think we'll get some more.
10-4, my man. Wish you the best of luck. Can't wait for Dagan next week. Let's have some fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. Well, thanks. We want to say thanks to our top 3 finishers for coming and talking with us today. Ron, final thoughts?
Yeah, I gotta say, overall, I think it was a pretty fun night for us here in the broadcast. We got some amazing racing to talk about. The drivers were giving us a good show. We had some pretty fun moments in the interviews there. Yeah, I think that description of saying that Adam Benefield is kind of like interviewing Bugs Bunny. You never know what's going to get thrown your way next. He's just going to bend that barrel of the shotgun right towards you. It's always a fun treat to have a chat with him. But all in all, Kirk, I think we had one hell of a fun time here at Kansas. But next time at Talladega, you've said that may be your final time behind the wheel. So be looking forward to seeing you out there on the racetrack and keeping our fingers crossed that you can bring one home for Maconi Entertainment.
Yeah, well, I got to finish the race first here, Ron. We'll see what happens, all right? Anyway, thanks, folks, for tuning in to Maconi Entertainment. Make sure to go watch Jeff Maconi tomorrow morning, 11:30 in the ARCA race. He's going to be starting towards the back, but we'll see if he can't get a few spots here and there racing with Cletus McFarland and the rest of them folks. This has been the Heartland 300. I'm Kirk Mills alongside Ron Mons, and, of course, Howie Burrows up there as our producer. We want to say thank you so much